David, Catherine, Moraloke, Emily, Melinda, Sahasra, Kaylin, Kanaya, Alex,
Here.
Simon,
Here.
Jocelyn Vargas, Sophia Chen, Pablo Cherkis, Simi, Ruhan, Sebastian, No, Khalil, Ritvik, Jocelyn, Arian, Jocelyn Cruz, Maddie, here, Jack Terrell, Nicole Sosnick, Aditya, Pablo Tang. And that is it. Any members of the public?
I'm here.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name's Dale.
Sorry, can you repeat your name again? Okay, thank you. Hello, welcome. Hi, Eddie. Carol, how are you?
Yep. We'll have 10 minutes of open forum with preference given to members of the public. Any topics for open forum? Seeing that there are none, we'll move to the report section. Naya.
Hello. Sorry guys, this is like so fast. I can't believe we're having these microphones right now, but also thank you guys for cooperating with us. We go through these technical difficulties today. Please have patience. Just really briefly, these are all the meetings we had this last week. I will not read them all today. Please read them, do your due diligence. The minutes should be in the drive. If they're not, please let us know. You guys can look over them. That way, number one with Katie Bonner. Upcoming meetings, Cav has another busy week this week with business services, career services, athletics, SRFS, all of which we have already collected data topics for, so we don't have to do that today. The only other thing is that myself and maybe a couple other members from exec will be having a joint meeting with DPS, the UGC, that's not what I meant. I meant Office of General Counsel, OGC, VPOL, ISSS, and UC reps regarding ICE concerns, especially after a Columbia student was taken out of their residence hall this past week. So hopefully we'll have something coming out of there, and update on nothing soon. I'll keep you guys posted. Upcoming meetings post spring break. So for cabinet, we'll be meeting with Jameson, PFP, and admissions and wellness. We already have admissions topics because it was rescheduled. So all the other two meetings will be after, but because we don't have GBM, we won't be able to put agenda topics. Jameson I have to send this week. So last time I checked, there was only 3 responses on that form, and it was all EI. So really quickly, oh, I see some. There's 6 now. I'll ask for like 3 to start off. For each of these, and then we'll move on. So for Jameson, these are like really big questions, similar questions which you would ask for those Jackson. They're less specific and usually more broad. Simon.
Put this in the form, but what provisions are being made in terms of proactivity in proactivity against ICE versus not drawing attention to active campus?
Can you put that on the form?
I did put that on.
Thank you. Other questions for Jameson? No, please all think at once.
Okay, we don't have much time. It's fine.
Okay.
I have a
And
question.
yes, I'm tired.
I guess this is just off of my notes, I think I'm putting it wrong, but maybe increases in the endowment compared to like how he views the budget of like the school, like changing in the next year, 2 years, etc. Like in the short term, like, are we seeing like more donor, more donations from alumni and donors to try to compensate for budget cuts, or do we see that, we might be getting exchange in, the endowment or donations, but whatever he decided, the provost and EVP on what the budget's gonna look like in the short term is still gonna stay the same.
Okay, thank you. Fill out that form and see if there's any more on there. And then also, we'll move on to, if anyone has anyone for PFP, please let us know. Wellness is usually a little bit more pertinent. This is like obviously all things wellness, student health insurance plan. Any questions for wellness? Alex.
Well, like kind of, so like they like are always like booked and stuff, so like how are like if it's like it's supposed to be a service for like everybody to use, but like the scheduled appointments that they have available or like in like a month in advance, like like what do you do for like what resources do they have for people who are going through something like immediately? Because like they're just very like they're always just like, oh, we're always just so busy, so like I mean that can change.
For counseling or for student health appointments? Or both?
Both.
Any other questions for wellness? Okay, please fill out that form
Julia,
and then I'll be bumping.
Julia had a
So-
I have one.
Oh,
I'm gonna put it on the form, but you can't in the wellness health portal. You can't message a doctor or a nurse unless they message you first. Like you can only reply to a doctor or a nurse, and I'm wondering if they have control over that and why they decided that that is the case. Like that you can't because it's Epic, and in Epic you can usually do that, but I think they have like a setting where it's shut off.
Okay, thank you. Julia.
What changes have been made to their communications in recent months?
They've had some very funny posts
Yeah,
today. Okay. Rafa.
But if you're under 18 and an international student, there's a bunch of complications where you can't make a Central account. So you have to be actually you're on campus to give your vaccines in person. So this is like fix that.
You said you have to wait to give your vaccine documents in person? You're
Yeah,
under-
you can't make Central because you're under 18 and then you're also international.
Okay. Was there another hand?
Yeah, also in some countries, like due to like VPN, like, I mean, IP address issues, you can't access the websites. Like, Aetna student health, so can they like?
We could. It's up to me. I mean, after this, there's no one else
Okay.
saying anything,
Is there one more question for
because
wellness?
you need to go.
Okay,
Just talk.
please fill out that form.
She's done.
And then that is all from me, I believe. This is like one of my last 2 times standing up here because our session's coming to an end so fast and I'm so sad about it.
Wrap it up.
What's up?
Thank you.
Really.
We just have you guys doing on Tuesday with Neil 410. That's it.
Thank you. It's not on here, but I just want to congratulate Kavance for now being an elected member. For the round of time. He moved up because he was the next highest vote getter, and we had some movement in that position. So congratulations. Mo, do you have anything?
No, just budget later.
Okay, it's airport shuttle season again, everyone. I'm sure you saw the lovely flyers that Taya and put up today. And I think that there will be some reels coming out. Taya's nodding and yeah, so excited. I heard Carol's in one of them. Very excited. So we have airport shuttles sign up and airport shuttles promo. So sign up through shift on Thursday and Friday, and the promo is to sign up for posting. Please repost the graphics. Please put them in listservs. Please tell all your friends. That's how we sell tickets. I think we've seen this budget season. Airport shuttles is very important. It's an integral student service. So please do your part to promote and tell your friends to use the shuttles. The sign-up sheet, you can sign up Thursday or Friday. Please sign up for a shift. If you are leaving before Thursday or Friday, please let me know and you'll be exempt from a shift, but that does not exempt you from reposting the reels and the graphics that Taya put up. Thank you to the comms team as always, could not do without you. That's all for me.
So,
I mean, I could also just like talk really loud, but.
yeah, and we also have a very limited amount of time,
Yeah,
so,
you might just slow down a little bit.
that's Mo.
Oh, thank you. What's it called? Yeah, I had a good meeting with Corey Dombrowski on Wednesday where we talked about just giving funneling 300, not funnel. Just giving the UA $300. Yeah, there's no good purpose for it. Giving the UA $300 for the UA census, which because of the election timeline is going to be released in early April. What's it called? My committee made that decision. Business services and DHG had a really great collab meeting. It's really sad that this session is ending, but it's really good to see that you guys have started building some of those foundational relationships that are going to carry over into next session with the next DHT committee. And then unfortunately, I was supposed to have a meeting with Drexel, but it got postponed to this coming Friday. And then for projects, everyone's doing well, and I especially want to shout out the dining team, whose new focus is going to be the health code violations that have been exposed recently, as well as expanding healthy drinks from calling dining. But yeah, that's about it. Also, the Penn Transit team will be, the transit team will be sending out the Penn Transit survey this Monday. What's it called? So I also would ask you guys to also repost that to make sure we get as many fill outs as possible. But that's about it for me. Thanks.
Nothing for AI. Alexa, do you have anything?
Yes, like, on Friday, our collaboration that will also go into the next session. And then projects are going really well. Specifically, want to highlight the team on the event compliance library. We submitted our green fund application, which is a really good step, and I'm getting it sponsored. So excited to see how that.
Yeah.
Because of time, I'm not gonna have 5%, but Alex and Catherine subbed in for a meeting with Spark. They wanted to learn a lot more about how students use side chat. I think they both did a very good job of like explaining the pros and the cons of side chat. I think in the long term, the things they're gonna ask us to do is like trying to get, actually, I was going to go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so,
We're in the middle of the meeting. Sorry. Thank you.
asking around, they asked for UAs, we like maybe in steering to see what other students are trying to talk to them about side chat. They also were thinking of maybe implementing something, and so, or like a tap module, and also on the employee side, like how they have workday modules, they were thinking of doing that as well. And then that was like the main thing. And then they also, me and Catherine brought up some concerns with how students rely on side chats for like up to date, like they like and like on events and stuff, like talking from the water, like the homeless guy spot, you know, like we brought up the concern of like why UPS is a bit slower on that, and so they're doing that for their session as well. And so that was if you want to go faster, so okay, but yeah, that was basically the majority of it. They're still looking to see like the others. Yeah.
Thank you all. Any topics for new business or would you like to propose that or present that? It's we don't. Or we can enter to move to consider the press statement. If someone would, well, I'm not making. All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. You'll have 3 minutes to present the statement, whoever's presenting it.
Hey everyone, can you all hear me? Okay, thanks.
Okay, so this is our newest article that we've written for the UA DP column. Hopefully we'll be sending it to the DP tonight. I'm posting it tomorrow. Mainly it's about advertising UA shuttles, but then also shedding some light on like the process behind it, the struggles of actually keeping it running this semester, and why we think it's so important and helpful for students. Hopefully you guys all had a chance to read through it. And in a minute, we'll go through any questions or concerns you guys have. But yeah.
we have a couple minutes for question and answer.
De Silva.
I guess I'm curious as to like, I understand like why we've had op-eds in the past, like verify UA actions, but like, is it a good idea to be having an op-ed where it's basically an advertisement that we're not paying the DP for on the website?
This is a good point. If there's any major opposition, like I told Ingrid that we're planning on doing this as our next article topic, and she didn't say anything in opposition. If I end up sending it her tonight and she doesn't like it, then we'll have to go from there. But I think we did try to steer mostly away from like, this is just us promoting it and like really going into what it's all about, like kind of more procedural and like structural issues behind it. But I do hear your concern. I don't know if you have a follow-up to that.
Yeah, no, I just saw a link to buy the tickets in it, so I kind of
Yes.
just, yeah.
To be honest, Ingrid may tell us to take that out, but we thought we would just keep it in there just for like ease of buying tickets, because we are trying to sell tickets at the end of the day, but I know what you mean. Hello.
They are more like experts outside the right that, so they give us that can use.
Feedback is in like in terms of the content or in terms of viewership. They didn't really give us any feedback. Like the next day after I'd sent it to Ingrid, she just gave more like grammar things to fix, but not direct feedback about the content. David?
Yeah, I just want to ask about, you know, how many people this is going out, you know, like past op-eds and actually like been successful.
I do not know the numbers. We can ask Ingrid, like, if we can get any data on that after the fact. But I definitely know it'll be more than the amount of people we send out newsletters to and the amount of people we reach with Instagram. So hopefully a good amount of people. Any other questions or edits? Motion
Yeah.
to allow.
Motion to allow Q&A.
Is there a second? All elected members in favor? This is all elected members in favor of elapsing Q&A. Raise your hands, please. Thank you. Any opposed? Motion clearly passes. We'll now enter pro-con debate. Questions can also be asked during this time, and it doesn't contribute to the total time for debate. We'll set a cap at 5 minutes with 1 minute speaking time, and we'll have alternating pro and con for this press statement. Are there any speakers that would like to speak in favor of it? Pro? Julia? Anyone else? Anyone con? De Silva? Anyone else? Okay, we'll start with those two. You've 1 minute each. Julia.
I think generally, it's important to highlight the process of any student government initiative that is out there and is quite difficult for students to accomplish. I think there has been a lot of lobbying from me and past secretaries on getting money for the shuttles from other entities. And I think it's just important to highlight the hard work that Penn student government puts in to serve students, for people who don't know, and for the people that use the service. I also think it's helpful in getting people to learn about the service who might not know about it and may use it, and it might help them out and get to the airport and their homes on time for spring break. So I'm pro this.
Would you like to yield the rest of your time? Okay. De Silva, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. Also, I'm pretty excited with the idea of like UA newsletters. I think it's really important for us to get like our work out there and like to publicize the work that UA is doing. I guess I'm just a little bit concerned with the precedent, I guess, of like this like close to like us having airport shows, kind of releasing an op-ed that's more or less an advertisement for what's it called, a service that we're like generally like, you know, collecting money from people on. I think if this were a free service we're giving to students, I would have no problem whatsoever advertising it, but it's the fact that people have to buy it to use that kind of just does not feel right to me. And I really worry about this setting a precedent where now when people read an op-ed on UA, they think it's going to be an advertisement for something that they don't really want to listen to, and it's going to actually worsen engagement with the UA, with the unfiltered assembly, when really like the op-ed should be about drumming up engagement with the undergrad assembly. And I'm really just worried that having something that feels like an advertisement just really ruining that in the long term. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Any other speakers, pro or con? like a pro speaker? Is that, what would you like? Con, anyone else? Start with you, so,
The second point about setting a precedent.
1 minute, yeah.
This is the second article we released, so I don't think we like saying a new precedent, given the previous article is more descriptive and what we're doing and how the budget's being shipped up, so I don't think we'd be reshaping the entire perspective. And then on advertising, like, this is just a transparency initiative into what the UA does and offering a service of the UA. I think like it's no more advertising or like seen as what we're trying to sell relative to like all the narratives going advertising pushed out on the Instagram. So I don't think the average Penn student is now thinking we're just trusting the UA more through this article. I think they're rather like, oh, now I understand like actually what the shuttles are, what they do, and the process behind it.
Do you yield the rest of your time? Good.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to echo what David said and add on to that. We're starting this off by asking if people know what it does and we want to ask them for money. So that might not be that.
Yield the rest. Any other speakers, pro or con?
I'll speak.
We have a pro here. What would you? Do you want to speak?
Pro.
Speak pro. Is there one con so we can have those two pros? Someone could also just, sure. Thea, we'll start with you.
Okay, I guess just in response to some concerns, I know we start off the article saying like, some people ask, what does the UA actually do? I thought that would be important to include just as a way to draw people in, also show a little bit of humility. I think that is important. We don't want to just be like boosting our own ego with articles or just like things that the UA is saying. So I thought it would just bring a bit of humility to the UA before we go into the rest of the article. Obviously this does serve like a bit of an advertising function, and like shuttles do cost money, but we also emphasize in the article that we've tried really hard and lobbied and advocated for students to only have to pay $5, which is obviously still like a set amount of money, but it's much less than we have to pay for an Uber or anything else. And yeah, I'm like, we can take out any sections that sound too advertising, like in terms of like giving the days and the times and the location, if that sounds like it's just an advertisement or a graphic to go on Instagram, and we want to keep it just to like the narrative and description. But besides that, I think we do go a lot into this like descriptive process and hurdles that we've had to overcome to get this initiative actually running this semester.
Thank you. Con, Aiden, or David, sorry.
What I could say is, next step, writing for, and one of our goals is to, one of the goals, not the goals, was to kind of advance some issues in society that we perceive as, issues with society or issues with the school. Rather than serving like as an advertising function for like a certain service or a certain service or a certain product or of the like. I think this would work if we would remove the diet or just talk about it would make more sense if we just talk about like whatever we're doing. Let's talk about how the airport shuttle is like a good service for the UA, and a good service for the tech community overall, rather than like trying to force people to buy an airport shuttle with the plan. So that's just what I wanted to say.
We have a problem. We're about to hit time. I will say, if people do want to pose amendments, they can do that to this. Just a point of information, but we'll have the next pro.
There, and because airport shuttles is some way of doing, we're inevitably gonna talk about airport shuttles. So I think we're gonna do that without making it sound like we're pushing into spaces. Secondly, the idea that like what David mentioned about it being really different from traditional office. I don't think that's necessarily a problem because we are writing this as vision, right? So it's already the traditional office and that's not coming from an individual. So it's okay if that's the case. I mean, the whole goal of this is again, managing ways to do it. So it's not vision thinking. So I think as long as we kind of get rid of that aspect of the marketing.
So we have reached the time for debate. We can extend that if you want, or we can enter voting procedure. Is there a second? All those elected members in favor?
Do we not want to make any?
The motion's already been, yeah.
Can we like motion to straw poll to see who would want an amendment?
Well, we already have a motion on the floor, so, and we were in the middle of voting for it, so I'm gonna keep going with that. All those opposed to entering voting procedure? Okay, that motion clearly passes. We'll now begin with the roll call vote.
Wait, yeah.
Yep.
Like, you can vote yes and then call for a motion to reconsider this vote, right? And then
If you vote with the prevailing vote, then you can propose, you can call to reconsider. You can make a motion to reconsider, but you have to go with the prevailing result. You can switch your vote until the end of roll call. Oh, the microphone. Oh, yeah, and for Zoom, because it's hard to hear, we're gonna have to pass this microphone around the whole room. Sorry.
Okay, Naya,
Wait, I'm saying power.
whatever, Musal, Carol,
Aye.
Ro. I'm pro. Taya,
Pro.
Miriam,
Pro.
Sorry. Wait, sorry, say that one more time, Miriam.
Pro.
De Silva,
Hold on.
Chinmay,
Hold
Tanvi, Eddie, Kushi, Shaughnessy,
Just delete it.
Ishika,
Didn't we skip it? Ben Woods is on Zoom.
oh, Ben, sorry,
Ben, are you there?
Ben,
I guess he's not there.
okay. Pierce,
Pro.
Stanley, Amira, Samyang, Charmaine, Solon, Sophie, Ryan, ZK, Kavance,
Mhm.
It passes 15-5, 0 abstentions.
All right. So I know we have people filing in and out. Is there any other topics? I'll just take the mic real quick. All good. Any other topics for new business? Any documents to be considered? We could move to adjourn this, not the whole GBM, but this GBM. Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? Okay, that most clearly passes. We've adjourned our regular GBM. Don't leave. We still have probably 3 hours ahead of us with this budget meeting. And we will get started in just a moment. I know we have a lot of movement. So get your water real quick, but we're gonna start in just a second. What I say is this, again, is a very important meeting. It's $3 million we're working with here. Obviously, this is a time that we will now, sorry. There we go. I'm sorry. We will entertain amendments during this meeting. We'll debate during this meeting. We'll go through every group's budget and we'll talk about the current state of it. And I want to be clear about that portion of the meeting. We're going to go through, like we did last meeting, every single group. We're going to talk about the current budget. So I know there have been many amendments that have been proposed. that is not the time to talk about amendments. We'll talk about amendments at the end. If it's an amendment between branches, which almost all of them are, that'll be done at the end during general discussion. When we're in the section for each branch, we are only covering what has happened with the current allocation. None of these amendments have passed, so we should assume that the current allocation is what we're going with. We'll have speaking time. We're going to have the treasurer and budget committee will be able to present at the start. Then the financial designate for that branch will go for a couple minutes, and then we will go right into debate. If there are amendments between line items for a specific branch, they will happen during that section. So for example, if there is an amendment between two line items of the NEC, we would do that during their section rather than doing it at the end during general discussion. As I said, the majority of the amendments are between branches, so they'll be done at the end during general discussion. I made comparisons last time. I'm not going to make any comparisons to how this meeting should go, but please take this seriously. This is a very important thing that we're doing. We're allocating $3 million that comes from, our peers, 10,000 undergrads here at Penn. We want to make sure that these dollars are being allocated appropriately and reaching the broadest number of students possible. We will do another roll call in just a second to see who's here for the budget meeting. So we'll start with that right now.
Okay. Another round of roll call. Naya? Here. Musa? Carol?
Here.
Bo?
Here.
I am here. Taya? Miriam?
Here.
De Silva?
Here.
Chinmay? Tanvi? Aisha? Eddie? Ishika? Kashi? Chauncey? Ben? Pierce?
Here.
Ryan? Huang? Yadu?
Here.
Stanley?
Here. Sorry.
Yeah, I got you, Yadu. Stanley?
Here.
Amira?
Here.
Samyam? Charmaine? Solon? ZK? Sophie? Ryan? Laura, sorry, he's here. And Kavance. Perfect. Moving on to associate members. Rafa? Gustav? Austin? Minna? Kennedy? Jeffrey? Anjali? Alexa? Gracie? Madiha? AJ? Nina? David? Catherine? Maura Lake? Emily? Melinda? Sahasra? Kaylin? Anaya? Alex? Simon? Jocelyn Vargas? Sophia Chen? Pablo Cherkis? Simi? Ruhan? Sebastian? Noof? Khalil? Ritvik? Jocelyn? Arian? Jocelyn Cruz? Maddie? Jack Terrell? Nicole? Aditya? Pablo Tang. Okay, so first I'm gonna ask for members of the public and then I will ask for financial delegates. Are there members of the public who are not financial delegates? Okay, Mukhtar.
Then there's
Sorry, can you? David, yeah.
Here.
Can you guys raise your hands high, please?
Nahir,
And then Catherine.
Catherine, and
Sorry, what's your name behind Simon? Sorry. Did you get that?
wait, I don't catch him.
Okay. Well, one moment. I'm sorry. Let me know when you're ready. Could you repeat your name one more time? You got it. Where?
How do you spell it?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Is that it? Did I get all?
Are there any other members of the public? No.
Okay. Now, if you are a financial delegate, please tell me your name. Maybe you should stand. Stand, tell me your name and what institution you represent.
No.
Not a fun fact. No. Okay. Going from my left to my right.
Sure.
All right. Is everyone up? All right. Mert, starting with you.
And there's just one designate per branch. So we'll set one right now.
You're the one for class board. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Yes.
NEC.
Share.
Who's
NEC.
there? Oh, okay, sorry. NEC.
Yeah.
Okay. Pink. Emily Skew. Next person. Okay, you were the next person, but thank you. Okay.
And just one second. No worries.
Okay. Beck.
I think it was headliners.
Okay, hi. Sorry, guys. And sorry, I didn't get your name. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, ND from class 4/2027.
Okay, so we can't have
Yeah, it's just one for class board.
one for class board. So if, do you want it to be Mert or you want? Well,
So
we need somebody for right now.
Mert, you'll be the designate right
Mert,
now.
okay.
And if you have to leave, we can switch it.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. We are going to get started. I'll ask for it to be quiet so we can focus up. And I'm also going to have you, if you're a financial designate, I'll have you come up, use the mic so we can hear on Zoom. But we're going to start with the same order that we did last week. So it's going to start with SKU. Not going to get up yet because we'll start with 2 minutes for budget committee and treasurer to present the rationale for that branch's budget. And again, just a reminder, we're talking about the current allocation. We will talk about amendments in a moment, but any debate, any questions, any presentation right now is about the current allocation that we have. Yes, sir. It's different than last week. It's the same order for groups presenting. You don't give your statement, but the order of groups is the same. Yes, sir. Okay. You've got 2 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for making it today. Hopefully this will be smooth. Okay, so we covered basically everything last week. We talked about the standardized costs for social costs and printing costs. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Is everyone hearing me well, or?
Just use the mic.
Okay, sorry, I'll repeat that. So we talked about the standardized cuts for printing costs and social costs. And I don't want to waste time because I feel like we covered like those basics last week, but can Eddie or Pierce add anything if they want?
They can, yeah.
You guys add anything?
Here's something to add.
I think we're.
Wait, are you saying my name? I can't hear.
Yeah, sorry. Mo was just wanting to know if you had anything to add to the budget committee's rationale for SKU's budget. You guys have 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, no, Mo can speak. I can't really hear him, so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, do you want to yield to the chair?
I'll yield to the chair.
Okay. We will now have 2 minutes for the SKU financial designate to share their thoughts on the budget allocation. right, whenever you're ready.
Hi, UA, thank you for your time and continued continuation. I wanted to clarify a few key points from last meeting and then reaffirm SKU position. First, I do want to mention that we are really taking this reduction in good faith. With that said, when we host focus groups and surveys, students had explicitly said that they would not fill out the survey without food. Other peer groups funded by the UA also use food to increase engagement because it supports their core model. So secondly, I want to clarify what I said last week. While administrators are often the audience for our policy meetings, we are not primarily serving administrators. We are advocating for students. Those meetings are the mechanism through which we lobby student voices for institutional change, whether through events or admin meetings. Our mission remains the same: to serve the undergraduate population here at the University of Pennsylvania. Finally, I want to contextualize our white paper cycle. The white paper operates on a 5-year structure, with the 2025 publication representing the midpoint of that cycle. In addition, we published a white paper between those white meetings, which carries its own research and development costs. Forward-looking, we believe that the body has misunderstood our project-based expenses. These costs are not exclusively food, but they include and are not limited to purchasing park cleanup supplies, septic passes, wellness event materials, and first aid kits. While our white paper operations have historically decreased during implementation periods, next academic year, we are looking to purchase an AED for the Sarah Katz family. An AED costs upward of $1,700, and this is greater than our healthcare education line item, and we would need to draw funding from white paper operations. Furthermore, we need to account for the complete removal of our internal operations, which would have otherwise helped us to subsidize these costs. We are not attempting to obscure any expenses, and we apologize for any prior confusion. We respectfully ask that our request be viewed in light of SKU's long-term research model and implementation response.
15 seconds.
And that proportionally across branches. Thank you.
All right, so we will begin debate in just a moment. We're gonna do 5 minutes for debate. Yes.
Are we allowed to ask questions during this as well, or it's just debate?
You can technically ask questions. Most questions should have been asked last week, but you can ask questions. It's gonna be 1 minute speaking time for every person during debate. We're not alternating pro con, it's just a general debate section. Yes, sir. You're debating on the current allocation for this case SKU. So this is not, it has nothing to do with current amendments. I'll explain this in the broader context. Basically, we had our first meeting last week where we asked questions, gather information. This is the second meeting where we debate the current allocation. And then the third meeting is where we've passed the final budget. So this is kind of the intermediary step in the process of passing our whole budget. But for this moment, we're just talking about the current allocation. Of course, for amendments, we'll do that in just a moment. So this is debate on this current allocation. Again, we're gonna have 5 minutes total, which can always be extended, 1 minute speaking time. And we will begin now. Do we have any people, of course, any people that would like to speak in debate? Okay, anyone else? Oh, sorry. Sure. And we don't have to alternate pro con. So you, okay, doesn't have to be pro con, but absolutely. Anyone else? No. Okay, so we'll start with Sophie, and it's 1 minute.
Here's like the main thing that they're working on, especially coming off of publishing.
The white paper, their goal now is to actually implement all the things that they said they were going to do, and that's how they prove to administrators that like they're taking actionable change based on the information they gather from students. I think it's really important that we don't like discredit or disregard them, especially because we both share the same mission of improving student lives. I feel like this drastic of a cut to their main function just seems pretty aggressive. And I do think that right now, like there is a lot of collaboration going on between the UA and SKU, which has been, from my experience, definitely very favored by administrators, that we're working together and not coming to them with similar goals from 2 different organizations. So I think giving them the capacity to actually carry out the projects they're suggesting aligns with our goals perfectly, and also they like actually do really that money right now.
Beautiful timing, 59 seconds. Thank you so much. De Silva, 1 minute.
Yeah, I'll kind of echo every point that Emily's not only that Sophie's made so far, and that like they're kind of the implementation phase of the white paper, and thus frustrated to see a lot of the long-term like impacts that come from the white paper research, which by the way was great last year. I think we really need to make sure we're not only like we're giving as much financial support when it comes to their operations as possible. Especially when they mention how like a lot of these costs like that are going to operations are going to be going to covering the AED that they now have to purchase for the CATS family. So I think as a whole, whatever financial contributions we can give to them, and especially increasing those financial contributions to operations are important now more than ever. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else that would like to speak? We still have 3.5 minutes. If not, we could entertain a motion to elapse debate. This needs to be passed by 2/3 of elected members present. Are there any motions? Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? All right, that motion clearly passes. We will now move on to NEC. Thank you very much. And yeah, you can hang out for a second. Mo will do 2 minutes first, and then you'll go.
Okay. Yeah, and we've done with a lot of time, but mostly cuts across social spending and website hosting fees. They were able to basically get rid of the PSU steering website, so it's only gonna be the NEC website that's being funded. And then a little bit of increase in the financial aid for candidates, given there was a big demand for it, and that's about it.
Do you yield your time? All right. 2 minutes. Whenever you're ready.
Hey, hi guys, my name is Zaire. I'm the administration finance chair for the nominations and elections committee. Again, this budget cycle, we're just looking to accommodate any funding allocations and making sure that we're working tightly to make sure that the $3 million that are budgeted throughout all these different organizational groups are allocated properly. For us, we just wanted to see an increase in financial aid for candidates, and pretty much everything else stayed the same. Granted that we don't have as much money for merchandise and internal member orientation. But yeah, all of these, everything that we listed on the budget is related to carrying out our functions of nominating students to UC and UI, helping out with the election cycle, UA class board, and our education aspect.
Thank you. Is that it? Do you yield your time? Yes. Okay. Wonderful. We will now enter debate on this section, the NEC. 5 minutes with 1 minute speaking time. Would anyone like to share their thoughts? Anyone? Seeing that there are none, is there any motions to elapse debate? Is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you. That motion clearly passes. We will now move on to spec. And for spec, we'll go, as we did last meeting, we'll go section by section, starting with the cover sheet. So we'll start by just talking broadly about their overall budget. 2 minutes for Mo.
Okay, so there's literally so much, I guess. The cuts across most of the subcommittees were for printing / the internal programming or the social costs. But I guess we can probably go more in details or discuss it when we go through each subcommittee.
Great.
Yeah, I yield my time.
Wonderful. Feel free to come up. And 2 minutes whenever you're ready.
Guys, okay, so I'm just gonna be reiterating a lot of what we talked about last week, but staff's request is ultimately about protecting the operational backbone that allows our events and the revenue that sustains them to exist. Our programming is unique in that ticket sales are embedded directly into the budget model, meaning our ability to generate revenue is inseparable from the tools that we use to promote and run our events. That's why I want to start with the printing and posters budget, which is critical. Print advertising is not just a discretionary expense. It's really a primary driver of our ticket sales, especially for audiences beyond Penn. Last year alone, non-Penn ticket revenue exceeded $16,000,
and that revenue helps fund future programming and keeps events financially viable. Without a dedicated printing and advertising budget, we risk reducing visibility, lowering our attendance, and ultimately shrinking the very revenue stream that offsets many of our costs. Similarly, our office supplies and day of show funding requests are operational necessities, again, not discretionary. Office supplies, which include primarily our Canva and Google Workspace subscriptions, cover the infrastructure that enables us to coordinate large-scale events. Our office supplies also includes credentials, which are essential for public safety requirements. The day of show budget is not a social budget. It ensures that volunteers and directors can remain on site for extended hours, which is again essential for events to run smoothly and safely. Think about working a 15-hour shift on the day of concerts and not having a single cup of coffee. These are again not discretionary perks. There are conditions that require our large-scale events to run effectively.
Thank you. Yield the rest of your time. Yes, wonderful. Okay, debate on this section. Anyone want to speak? Julia, and it's 1 minute speaking time. Anyone else? Go ahead.
I am definitely amendable to the part about the office supplies. I think that the Canva and the Google Workspace is really, really important for specs function. And I think we should definitely consider that, considering how much they're using it to make advertisements. I use like ticket things and it's very difficult. So I understand all of the technological stuff that you might need for office supplies as well. So I definitely think an increase in that would be amazing. I yield my time.
Anyone else that would like to speak on the overall spec budget? If not, do we have any motions on the floor to debate? Yeah. And
second.
All those elected members in favor of elapsing debate? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We will now move to the next section of spec, which is spec executive, starting with 2 minutes from Mo and budget committee. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so internal director training, general meeting, social costs, office supplies, I see the argument, I definitely agree that there needs to be more funding to cover these requests based on the understanding is around $550 for Google Workspace, $120 for Canva, and $250 for website hosting fees. So, and then the math correctly, that should be around $920. However, I also do want to note that spec does work with the largest budget, and as I mentioned in emails before, there's definitely a lot of ways to work on some internal reallocations with better spending. So that is worth noting, but yeah, I yield my time.
Thank you. 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to thank the committee for recognizing our office supplies and the necessity of that. I want to talk also about the printing budget here. So we are offering potentially centralizing that printing budget across all committees to have like one generalized marketing expense that would be distributed across committees. Again, want to emphasize the importance of printing and posters here. Right, printing is essential to us raising ticket revenues. The internal director training, it's something we're willing to forego, even though again these meetings are like, 5 hours sometimes retreats. Like we'll forego the food. In terms of the comment on our spending habits, we have never spent above our budget, I guess. So that's one thing to say. And our events are really targeted at making the student experience that much better. But I think on the executive budget, those are the main points. So
Thank you. Do you yield the rest of your time?
I will.
Wonderful. Anyone like to speak on these spec executive portion of the budget? Khalil? You can ask a question. It's going to be 1 minute speaking time. You can sort of pose it a question and yield the rest of your speaking time for Tasia to answer. Any other people that would like to speak? Just Khalil. Okay, go ahead.
Can you let us know?
Yeah, so we are $950 for us, as per our latest moment.
Okay, and do you yield the rest of that 1 minute? Anyone else like to speak? Any motions? Sure, 1 minute.
Yeah, I would also, I think like in terms of printing, because of the commitment that was made like, a few years ago about like being more sustainable friendly, I think there are alternative ways to increase engagement that don't include printing. I do understand that it does help with reaching broader audiences, but there's also other ways like sharing on Instagram, like coffee shops around campus or like around Philadelphia. As someone who goes around the city a lot, I definitely think that that can be getting a lot of attention from people, but yeah. I use it.
Can I speak?
If you want to yield the last 20 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, I just mentioned, advertising coffee shops and that type of stuff, and again, that's a part of posters, some sort of advertising to do that, and I think that spec is different from a lot of other branches, and that again, we do really rely on that in advertising. Not everyone follows us on social media or checks our websites.
All right. Yep, you have 1 minute.
Wait,
Yeah.
Mo, can you correct me if I'm wrong? But you requested $920 for office supplies, or no, sorry.
We requested 1,000 and
1,000.
our most recent amendment is 950.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we granted them 500, sorry, I can't see. Yeah, I just want to reiterate that if what Mo was saying correct in his beginning speech, and that the office supplies cost $920, we should at least allocate that much. I mean, yes, like spec is a big budget, but I think that maybe the room in the budget can be spelled.
Say one more thing.
Yes,
Yield 20, yep.
I yield my time, sorry. Oh.
And about that, being good financial stewards, SPAC actually, the executive board has just gone through our, Google Workspace account and tried to minimize the amount of emails that we have already. Our costs have not really decreased that much because all of them are pretty necessary. But just trying to show that we're trying to.
Wonderful. Any other speakers for this section of spec? Seeing none, are there any motions? Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? Motion clearly passes. We will move to the next section, spec concerts. 2 minutes for Mo and Budget Committee.
Yeah, big difference again is advertising and internal programming. I feel like that so many times, so I just feel more time.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, we covered this last week as well, but, advertising, especially for concerts, is really, really essential here. We're offering to move that printing and poster budget again into exec and, allocate that across our committees that rely on this sort of, print advertising for revenue, right? If we're expecting to make, $115,000 in big revenue, we really can't do that without advertising. So, either that expected revenue number has to adjust or the advertising budget has to adjust, and I don't think that we want to diminish our attendance at the concert, right? That's not something that we don't want. So, yeah, there's that. I think other than that, the day of show funding, that is again something that we are planning to have as an executive committee and then allocate across these talent-based committees, right? People at concerts literally work like the day starts 6 a.m. and they don't get out until like past midnight. So like a cup of coffee, like a slice of pizza. That's like a safety thing, I think. That's just not like an enjoyment thing. Like people don't have time to go to Commons in the middle of the day when they're working a concert. So that is an absolute necessity. Yeah, I yield my time.
All right. Debate. Any thoughts on this section? 1 minute speaking time. Anyone like to speak? Sure, but we'll go you and then was there a hand over here?
I was gonna ask, I was gonna say something, but I think I would prefer Dave to ask a question.
Sure. So you can ask a question, then yield your time so she can answer. Whenever you're ready.
First of all, even if we did reduce or cut the printing and advertising, how how would you? If we did reduce the printing and advertising budget, I don't last time you said you probably get that, but where, what, in that case, what would you reduce funding to make stuff for your printing?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really, yeah, again, like, even if we don't have a printing budget, I'm pretty sure that we would still end up printing posters, because again, that's so essential to us generating ticket revenues. I can't really say like where that would come from, but I think it would honestly be like a safety risk at some point, right? Like there are very core things that we need to make this concert run, and so sacrificing any of those things, I think would be like a disservice to the student body. I can't say exactly where it would come from, but
That you've reached time for that. Sorry. If someone else wants to debate and they can,
Start some of my time for.
sure. You still have 30 or sorry, 50 seconds to sort.
Perfect. I was just gonna absolutely speak in support of like a need to like increase internal programming for all branches, concerts especially, just because as you mentioned, like people standing up all day doing this without being fed is simply just inhumane to some extent. Like I volunteered like at Special Olympics at like these events, you're out in the heat sometimes just standing all day. And like, yeah, the free food you need is what actually substantial that actually just like, decency of living. So I think if we could find it for ourselves to find some way to give them internal funding for programming for food, especially for like the day of, I think that should definitely be one of our priorities. I yield the rest of my time.
can I add?
You could yield to 20 seconds.
Concerts, I have been to like a number of concerts, GBM concerts, like literally like never had GBM food. So that social budget has like never been for GBM food. It's always just been like a buffer for them to have some days for food.
Wonderful. Any other speakers here? Once you have 1 minute. Short.
Players will actually attract more ticket sales. Like for example, whatever in other concerts in Philly, I couldn't tell you I've seen other posters around. So why do proposal that's like as a necessity to show to get tickets?
Yeah, I think honestly, like, but frankly, I don't think it's necessarily for like it's not for Penn students, right? It's for people around Penn. Like, just think about logistically, like, how would you find out about a concert if you don't follow Stack on social media and you don't see the website, right? Like, it has to be through a poster. So in terms of like concrete sales, I think like that number that we gave, like roughly $16,000 in ticket sales. There's really no other way that people would find out about it unless they like followed us online, which a lot of people don't.
Do you yield the rest? Who wants? Yep. We'll go Khalil. You have 1 minute.
I can easily say national concert US. I'm not going to think that, but just to like do this with like normal like concerts, no Windows posters around. I haven't seen like a poster for that like months I've been in the US, and you can in place and if people cannot like I don't think people if they don't have the print those will not be able to organize a concert, and I'm sure there's way more like social media or like online people friendly methods to advertise for the concert rather than like just print posters that they may not wait once to have any that's general problem. Thank you. I just share.
The rest. Okay, so we have reached 5 minutes. Would we like to extend this debate period? Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We'll have 3 minutes. There's a lot of hands. So can you raise your hand if you want to speak right now? He yielded to the chair, so unfortunately, no. Yes.
Is it possible to make internal amendments after we go through all the branches? So we can do the amendment discussion today.
Amendment discussion. Could you rephrase your question?
I can mention you would review amendments that are switching internal line items during this process. Is it possible to do like someone to propose like that type of amendment afterwards?
I would highly suggest and ask that. Okay, sure. I would highly suggest that we do internal line item amendments now. And I mean, we can do them during general discussion, but if it's internal one, we should do it during that section. Okay. Who would like to speak now? We'll go Simon, Solon, Simi, and then we can add, if there's still people that want to go, we can add. Go ahead.
I don't think there's an actual necessity for printing. I think there's more of a necessity, which I think we talked about earlier, in making sure your office supplies like your Canva account and like your creative workspaces are still funded, but I don't necessarily see that as a necessity for advertising for printing, just because I don't think that's actually, I don't think that's been helpful, and I don't think it's really helpful for most people. We almost all 10 follows you on Instagram. I actually think it's a lot easier for people outside of Penn to search you up on Instagram rather than finding some random poster. And I think like I'm not fully understanding where the correlation between revenue to paper advertisement is necessarily coming from. So if you could speak on
Yeah, I'd like to speak on it.
Unfortunately, there's 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's you'll be anytime.
Okay, so we'll have you yeah, you're next, Solon. If you want to yield your time, we can also add to this in a moment because we only have 2 more minutes left. So you can go ahead and respond.
Yeah, I think on the point that people haven't been seeing concert posters around the city, I would respectfully disagree. I have been to a number of cafes where I have seen event posters, and that is how I sometimes find out about stuff. And to the point that you know, like the connection between the posters and the ticket revenues, you're saying that it's easier for someone to search us up, but how would they know about us in the first place if they didn't see us, this poster, right? You're not going to find out about spec, you're not going to find out about concert, you haven't seen the poster. Again, like, you know, all the Penn students follow and all the Penn students know about spec, but that's not the point where we're trying to argue here.
Okay, you could take the 20 seconds if you want, or sorry, back to Solon.
Yeah, so hopefully, like, yeah. But like it's one for that, like I feel like that again, like just wave it up, but also put like TV. I feel like I just want to add that in.
Thank you. That's your time. Simi, you have a minute. Do you want to yield to her? Yep, go ahead.
Those four, if you want anything, concert, like glow sticks, those types of things that just make the concert a more fun experience. Those are, yeah, a lot of people have had, you know, great experience with those things, like the photo booths in the past and that type of thing.
Great, do yield the rest of your time. So we have 30 seconds. If someone wants to ask something for 30 seconds, we can also extend. Someone have a 30-second point? Yes, sir. All right. Do you want to yield the rest of your 10 seconds?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. We can extend if we want. If there any, if we can move to extend debate, or we can move on because the time has elapsed. Are there any? Is there a motion to extend? Sorry, are you trying to? By how long? 1 minute? 2 minutes? Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
All elected members in favor of extended by 2 minutes? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We'll have 2 minutes. And would you like to speak? Yeah, 1 minute.
I would want this, like, if you've ever sent me something like that, and if you have, like, what have been the responses, like, do you know what very majority of people are hearing about the concerts? And then if you haven't, like, would you do that?
We unfortunately not done that. Yeah, maybe it's an idea for the future, but again, it's just a more of a logical thing for me. It's like, how would you find out about something if you don't follow on?
Yes. Sorry? There's still, well, do you want to yield the rest of your time, Charmaine, the last 30 seconds there? Okay, then you have 1 minute. No.
But I guess my question is that have you guys considered, I think a lot of groups here, when they try to reach out to external organizations, they just send emails, they're like, hey, you guys promote this, have you guys done something like that before?
Do you want to yield?
I yield.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that.
To my knowledge, I don't think we've used like email advertising to like outside organizations. No, right? Yeah. I don't think we tried that, but we do very actively do that in the pen audiences.
Do you want to yield the rest of your time? Okay. Are there any motions to extend debate? Or we'll move on if there are none? Okay, we have a lap, so we don't need to even move to do that. No worries. We will now move on to the next section of spec. Mo had to step out for a moment, so Musab is the next in line to present. Actually, we'll have budget committee present this, and you can sort of facilitate that. But we'll move to the next section of spec, which is spec con. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Wait, we're still on spec.
It's spec con. I don't know. Yeah, whenever you're ready. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so what we see here, the biggest like reductions from the budget was from internal programming and like we mentioned before from posters as well. So,
Great. Do you yield the rest of your time? Wonderful. 2 minutes.
Similar rationale concepts here. I wrote this last week as well. Here I would say printing, again, I think the production performance great as well. You know, that's a security thing that we definitely need. Posters, like not only is it a great way to advertise, but like, yes, we also like to have, you know, some type of symbolism of the event itself. Like that is something that is important to us. Day of show is something that we're requesting as well. Like we're cool not having the GBM food, not having social. But once again, you know, these people work really long hours and need some sustenance to keep them going through a long day. I yield my time.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Anyone have any thoughts on spec con? 1 minute speaking time. Anyone else want to speak? Julia? Okay, we'll start with you two. You have 1 minute. What's up?
But I think one big thing for like spec on any other spec grants is that there's like a $32,000 spec contingency fund that can also be used in case spec needs more money for certain things. The second thing is also I would encourage people who want to make amendments to like these ones to look internally into spec's $1 million budget and like try and reallocate internally rather than cross branching.
If you want to yield your time, you can.
Yeah, so that contingency budget is historically and frankly, almost all of it is given to concerts. Concerts always uses like an entire budget because our talent line item is frankly like probably too low. Not saying we should like reorganize everything to give concerts more money. Let's not do that. But contingency is not just something that like, you know, we are able to give to like stage show funding. In terms of reallocating things, like we really have time. So yeah.
Great. Julia?
Yeah, I want to go back to like the day of show food. I guess I'm gonna yield my time at the end of this to ask you a question, but I do think it's really important, like if they're working really long hours, I do think it's a safety thing, and I don't think it would be that expensive to allocate just like a little bit more money to do that. And I was actually gonna ask you, like, do you know how expensive that would be?
Yes, so our most recent amendment, we were requesting, I believe it was, let me make sure, I believe it was $1,200 across the board, through exec. So, that would be distributed,
Yeah, and I know this is in the context of this, but we're talking about the current allocation, and we'll talk about amendments once we get to that section.
So,
Wonderful.
yeah, so we, yeah, something like I was thinking, something around those.
And that's for every concert or just like per concert or like per event, sorry.
And-
Sorry, no, that's so basically what our idea was that it would be for every talent-based committee, it would be $100 2 times a year because every committee hosts. So basically for every event, it would be $100.
Okay, perfect.
That's time for that. Any other thoughts, debate? Nope. Any motions? We could just chill for a bit if there are no motions. Is
Lapse debate.
there a second? All those elected members, or sorry, there was a second. All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? Motion clearly passes. We'll go to spec film, 2 minutes from budget committee. So Pierce, also, if you want to share any thoughts here, but we'll have Eddie, who's in the room, start 2 minutes whenever you're ready.
Okay,
All right, that's very efficient. 2 minutes.
I'll make it efficient as well. It's gonna be the same route on com.
Okay. Yield the rest?
Yeah.
That was even faster. Thank you. Anyone have any thoughts? 1 minute speaking time. No. Any motions?
To lapse debate.
Second, is there, all elected members in favor of lapsing debate? Any opposed? Motion clearly passes. We'll now go to spec, jazz, and grooves, 2 minutes for budget committee to present their rationale. Do you want sitting there to help him scroll? Or, okay, all right.
Okay, similarly, we are encrypting and everything.
Thank you.
I would think like slightly different for JNG. I think JNG like gets a really significant amount of outside attendance because these are more niche artists. That's like the point of JNG is that, they host a lot of smaller, more indie artists. So I do think it's really important to have that advertising budget specifically. In terms of the day of show budget though, that's fair.
All right, do you yield rest?
You yield the rest.
Wonderful, thank you. Any debate for this section, jazz and grooves? Any motions?
Motion to lapse debate.
Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? We're actually looking to have to do that again. All elected members in favor of elapsing debate, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. Thank you so much. We will now move on to spec sound. 2 minutes for budget committee. Thank you.
So sound is actually one of the committees that we're not requesting a day or show budget for because while they do host events like Battle of Bands, we are not directly requesting that budget. We also instituted this year an income line item, so we are now deducting the expected income that they make from charging for their services. Other than that, not much is changing with them.
Great. And you yield the rest?
Yep.
Wonderful. Any debate? Anyone have any thoughts? Are there any motions?
Motion to lapse debate.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We are now on to spec pop-up. 2 minutes for budget committee. Sorry, is there? Sorry? We can do a quorum check if you'd like.
If you're an elected member, stand up. Sorry, guys. Eddie's already standing. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
And there's also
Oh,
two,
two elected here.
two
So
on
we're
Zoom, or 3 on Zoom.
All right, so 19, we have quorum. We need half of.
Yeah,
12.
we're good. We're good on quorum. Pierce, is that a question or just saying you're here?
Just saying I'm standing.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Pierce.
Okay. Where were we? You haven't spoken yet, have you? Okay. So we'll have 2 minutes, and if we all could listen up, please, 2 minutes for budget committee for pop-up.
So you're
Thank you.
Should I press any?
This isn't really for amendments. I mean,
Yeah.
if it helps with context, but it's not really
Yes,
amendments.
social budget here, there's no day to show, but we just want to, stress the importance of pop-up and how much pop-up means to people, these events are sometimes, something that brings joy to people's day, a couple times this semester. And they just work, they again spend all of their budget, there's really no wiggle room in that budget for them. Food is becoming more and more expensive, so I don't think that any reductions to their budget, would, allow them to sustain their operations. I think that would be pretty detrimental to them.
Thank you. Yield the rest. Wonderful. 1 minute, speaking time, do we have debate? See one in the back, any other? Go ahead, Chico.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
We're on camera. Yeah, so for pop-up, for example, I actually was a pop-up director at one point. We always try to work with the socialist cost vendor. We're always trying to find like family businesses and stuff that will charge us a lower fee. And we've also, like, in terms of event spaces, like, that's been a rising cost in the last couple of years, and now that we're required to, if we host basically anything internal, like inside, we have to pay the like reservation fee. If we have any food, and obviously all our events have food, so that's like an additional cost. Otherwise, like in the winter, you're forced to host events outside, which we have done. We have tried to host events outside in the dead of winter. Not only is that really painful for volunteers, our attendance was really low because no one wants to wait in the line outside when it's at 10 degrees. So those are some of the initiatives that we've implemented.
Yep. Yes.
Problem is on the screen right now.
Oh, yeah. Are we good? Yeah. Okay. Any other speakers for this section? Yep, go ahead.
My personal belief is we should pool the money together and have one singular event, maybe like strange time. And make it like much more special event and any extra budget event or let's say that or any other kind of but that in that way, like you have the funds event very nice weather and
Okay, so the nature.
Sorry, you to her? Yeah, great.
So the nature of public events is that they are smaller and that they are, more frequent. We have other committees that, do giveaways that are bigger or like events that are bigger, aka the concert. Pop-up is meant to be more frequent, smaller events. The reason that we wouldn't get an attendance in the winter is not because of lack of interest, as, we can't host an event outside when it's cold, that's in.
Thank you. Any other? Yep, 1 minute for you.
Isn't that kind of purely transactional, like for students actually engaging meaningfully with this event that we here, or they just like walking into people, grabbing a free item, like fund desired tuition and then like how is this possible?
I don't think that every committee or every branch of I don't think that everything has to be about like fostering. Okay, well, I mean, I think it's fostering community in the way that when you go to an event like this with people, you're like bonding over this, but I also just think like spreading joy around campus is a really meaningful way to spend our money. And for me, you know, like this has brightened my day on many dark days. And I know that has done the same for a lot of other people. So I think you can say the same thing about like a concert, or you can say the same thing about like honestly, like any speaker event, right? Like fostering joy, I think is a great way to build community.
Great. Yes, another minute. Could you speak up a tiny bit, please? Oh, okay, all right. Could you just repeat it just a little bit louder?
And by pulling together the money and the resources, and also agglomerating the, more frequent events, that Joy is Joy's able to be, much more experienced by the student population, because what matters is quality of the content. I yield my time.
I would respectfully disagree. I think that if we were pulling all that money together into one large event, like, I don't think that would bring, like, I don't think that would bring like an equal amount of joy, into, like, if we have one huge event in the spring, for example, like, I don't think that would bring the same amount of joy as, spreading that out throughout the year. Yeah, I think again, it's in the nature of pop-up to have these like pop-up style events, not like a huge blow up giveaway. Yeah.
Anyone else? 1 minute.
I'm raising my hand.
It's like you're reaching my again, he walks away right now, like, it should be there.
Response.
I would also really,
Uh,
I think the major problem is like, the crunch said, is okay, into the students of this semester, so it's like one big event. And also as a first year, I enjoy the student. I don't see the problem with the statement, I was saying that brings joy to Prince campus.
All right, to yield the rest. Okay, we're out of time for debate. We can extend it if you'd like. If there's a motion to extend, or we can also just move on.
Second.
All elected members in favor of extending debate by 3 minutes? If you could raise your hand high if you're in favor of extending by 3 minutes. Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We will extend by 3 minutes. Who would like to speak? Oh, I'm sorry. And my battery's being obliterated right now. I'm on 2%. Live streaming Zoom, and so we're just working on getting a charger. But yes, Pierce, please go ahead.
Yeah, I heard a comment about what if you were to pool events, and I can't really hear anything, so I don't know what the response was to that. But I just was going to add that I don't think it's the nature of the UA to decide like the number of events that Spec Pop-Up does.
I'm with you. Thank you. Do you want to yield the time so she can answer or give a response?
Yeah, I yield my time.
Sure.
Yeah, I think in respect to that, again, it is the nature of pop-ups, and pop-ups that do these larger scale events, so it would be again detrimental to the goals events.
All right. You yield the rest of that. Oh boy, yield the rest of that, Pierce. Yeah, we'll go.
I already did. Yeah.
Yeah, just there's still remaining time. So, Khalil, 1 minute.
Any other like people emerge, right? Okay, can that happen at least on weekly basis, if not daily basis sometimes? So like personally, I'm sure about sharing something like I really don't sense that like added value here and step about at another like
Oh.
like well, I suppose
There are basically no organizations on campus that are going to give you free food or merch if there's not a transaction involved. They're probably promoting something that they are doing, right? Or like promoting some cause, right? Pop-up is purely for joy, and that's what I love about it.
Right. Any other points for this section? And there's still a minute left, so we can,
The lapse debate.
is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We will now move to spectrum and start with 2 minutes for budget committee.
Okay, here we have cuts in first for advertising the fall spring concerts. And if you like scroll down those, thank you. We also have cuts in internal programming as well, or sick program.
Thank you. All right, 2 minutes.
I'm gonna echo the same things that we said across the other talent-based committees, but really emphasize the printing here, brings in, artists from underrepresented backgrounds. And I think that's really important here to make sure that we're getting the word out across the Philly community again, because, you know, we want to spread diversity for this community and, yeah.
Thank you. You yield.
I don't.
Yes, wonderful. Do we have debate for this section for spectrum?
Motion to lapse debate.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those elected members in favor of elapsing debate? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We will now move to spec spring fling. 2 minutes for budget committee.
But one of the cuts here are to pay outgoings, and then likewise, there's a cuts to inflatable activities.
Thank you.
Maybe talk to work around, but maybe like one less bouncy house, but we'll let it go. Most important thing here is the internal funding or the day of show budget that we've been discussing. Again, these people are working very, very long shifts and do need to be fed.
Thank you. Any debate? Cleo, 1 minute.
That they have like vendors, and usually whether like we never give volunteers like first access to the vendors to get draft codes. So why not the case in this like situation? Because you are spending $60,000 to vendors, why would you spend that?
That's a great question. So our food vendors come in a little later in the day, we start at 6 a.m. So for like the first half of the day and for like cleanup, yeah, sorry, meet at 5, right? Yeah, 5 a.m. So the food vendors are not there.
Sure, thank you. Any other points for this section?
Motion to lapse debate.
Is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. And we are on to the, is it the final one? I think it is the final spec one. Spec Fest, 2 minutes for budget committee.
Is okay.
Thank you.
It's not a hill that we're gonna die on, but we all know and love Spec Fest, really all of us don't know about it, but you know, part of that printing budget that we're reallocating to exact will probably go towards, you know, maybe this as well, but credentials. Credentials is important for Spec Fest, so that is something that we would need to be for.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to do too much at once here. All right, 1 minute speaking time. Yes, please go ahead.
There's like one that there's like undoor potential or can hold on. I think it's like 10% to the
Yeah. So again, it's not a hill we're dying on, but $100 is not gonna go thousand credentials, I'll tell you that much. So we have to laminate all of them and they require layers as well. But in terms of how many we would need, so every volunteer requires credentials, every vendor requires credentials. People often bring like teams of 5 to 10 people and they're serving as well. All the people that are unloading equipment and the tables and the pumpkins, and all the stuff that we have, like everyone requires credentials. And yeah, I guess other than that, we would like need wristbands and stuff for people who are allowed entry into the event.
Thanks. That,
I don't know if we have an estimate on how much credentials cost, but.
and that's 1 minute. If there's more, we can ask. Any other question? Well, debate.
Motion to elapse debate.
So there's a second. All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. Thank you so much for all those wonderful presentations. We now have the UA. We have the UA internal. Our SPT is traveling at the moment, so Musab will be the designate to present on behalf of the UA. And actually, first, before you go, I'm sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit here. We have 2 minutes for budget committee to give the rationale for the UA internal budget.
So, I'm gonna say exactly what happened. Basically, we have like an increase for marketing from $100 to $1,000. We entirely cleared socials and retreat. And then we increased funding for airport shows to account for lack of funding for administration next year. Totally cleared more subsidies, social funding, and yeah.
Thank you. All right, 2 minutes.
Okay,
So
pretend I'm Ben. Hey y'all, it's Ben Woods. Main point I want to make is regarding airport shuttles. Please look at the memo that Mo sent out via email. It explains everything better than I can explain it. The main takeaway is over the past couple of days, we negotiated the cost down to $8,000 from $12,000. And with that $8,000, then we've accounted for like a prediction in like how much revenue we make from the tickets, and then that's factored into only 4K. And then that like 4K we were able to reduce in the last couple of days, we put that to SAC. All the numbers are in the memo we sent out. We also have the receipts in there. Like just take Mo and Business Services word for it with all the proof as well as in the memo. And that's all from me.
do you yield your time? Yep. You yield. Okay. All right. Debate from UA members. Sir, anyone else? We'll start with you. 1 minute.
I guess, yeah, I'm curious how the $900 increase on marketing fund will be like across the board, have come marketing funds to other branches of their ability to market both in Penn as well as to the wider Philadelphia community. Why do we feel that for ourselves we can make the exception to increase our budget by $900 while we cut everyone else's?
Yeah.
Do you yield to him to respond? Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a long answer, so someone may need to like give me time after this. 2 years ago, the UA was like a shell of what it is now. Most notably, I think most people operated under the assumption that the UA is a service that we kind of duck our heads down, don't put any name recognition, get the work done, and then we move on. The problem with that is twofold. The first is that people don't come to us to get their problem solved. And the second is just broader engagement in PSG overall is at an all-time low. This is the first year we've had a comms committee. It saw a lot of increase in engagement. We saw via the reel that Minna made for career services, the uses of career service booth went up exponentially.
You're at 1 minute there. So
someone else will to me.
Is there another Naya? Okay, 1 minute.
We saw the use of career services increase exponentially. Via more all-school emails that Naya has sent, we saw more people reach out to us or email. The takeaway from this is that more UA presence in people's faces, knowing what we do, helps people know what we can do, not because we love to show off or Naya loves seeing her name on side chat, but rather because it helps us do our job better to help the student body better. And so when we look to this $900 increase in marketing, specifically what it goes to is Squarespace costs for the newsletter, better equipment to do like microphone for recording, like what we like the same similar to Skewer, we also do giveaways and tabling. And so I think the difference here is that we had zero infrastructure to build up the marketing budget on our side compared to the other groups who already had a similar service or ability to do that marketing. We're not going to use $900 to be printing a bunch of like airport shuttles flyers. We're going to use it to then get to the same level where we can continuously be in people's faces and do our job to a better scale.
That's perfect timing. Thank you so much. Any other points for debate? Go Simon and then Khalil, and then we'll come back to you, Silva. And so sorry, this is for UA members at the moment, but
Can we yield time to them?
if someone wants to yield, they can. We'll go Chime after De Silva, and then yeah, we'll do that for now. So go ahead, Simon.
Can you just talk a bit more about why specifically 900? Because I know Squarespace is all that. So yeah, you just talk a bit more to that exact number.
Yeah.
Do you want to yield to him?
Yep.
Between like service fees, equipment costs for mics, Canva, Capture Pro, giveaway incentives, things like the census, tabling, I think like there perhaps is around like a 900K increase. I also want to emphasize that like $1,000 in marketing in like for the UA as a branch is like I would probably say proportional to the amount of like marketing incentives that other groups can do across the board. We get best examples like Skew, they can have around $6,000 for food that they give out via tabling. This is like a fraction of that cost.
Okay. Next was cool. Yes, 1 minute.
I personally believe that UA session is that presents like students on campus, but students don't know what UA is or that presentation won't happen, and that's main like core of our mission. Having like whether like even events or in like marketing efforts without that students answer that they have rights in university can advocate for them on their behalf university like address just to confirm for some that UA will not use any of this money on printing. Can you confirm that and commit to that?
Yeah, fake printing. We will not be printing.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Are we able to make internal amendments to like, let's say the UA budget, for example, like during this segment as well?
Yes, if someone wants to propose amendment for line items within this budget. So for example, if you wanted to move something from, what we don't have retreat from airport shuttle to legal services, this would be the best time to do that.
Or should I let everyone go?
So you can propose it whenever you want. I would say that it's probably best for us to go through this debate and then you can propose any amendments at that time. Did you still want to speak now?
After someone else.
I think it's now.
Chime.
Or
Chime.
okay, we'll go Chime. 1 minute. Short, yep.
Could you just speak a little bit more about the $500 increase in your initiative development and what it's going to be used for, and then how it's going to be beneficial for the UA?
Yeah. So a lot of the projects we do often face roadblocks, which is that the rest of the university gets hooked via funding and that they don't want to start or put in an initial amount of money to like fund their service. For example, with the census last year, for example, now like with the funding, with water filters and flood was funding. And so this is to allow for a lot of piloting projects so that Annie can get convinced after we do a project for semester and then implement it fully rather than get stopped from the get-go.
All right. So we have reached 5 minutes. Do we want to extend?
Motion to extend. Okay,
By how much?
by 5 minutes.
5 more minutes. Is there a second? All elected members in favor of extending debate by 5 more minutes. Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We'll have 5 more minutes. Who would like to speak? Oh, sorry, I couldn't really see it. Yes, Sophie, go ahead. And then we'll go back to this. Yep.
I'm just curious, like for every other branch, because they cut anything else, like advertising, marketing, etc. So how do you justify like giving us that much money? Like, and what percentage of
Yeah, we specifically cut like on-demand printing advertising, but acts like tabling, for example, with SKU, they have around $6,000 for food incentives to table so that they can get their name out and they can do all the great work that they do. So this is similarly not where we're going to be like putting up flyers for UA airport shuttles, but rather to get direct engagement with students so we can do the work that we want to do in the UA to a higher degree.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, yes. Should you give 1 minute?
Yeah. Yeah, the first caveat is any projects I named not going to recognize because they were stopped in the get-go because administrators did not want it to continue. An example of a good one that we're able to finally get funding for after we pushed for it for a long time was water filters in the quad. They wanted us to pilot water filters by buying like $2,000 of water filters. Obviously, you would not have the money, but if we did have a project fund, we could test it out with 1 or 2 water filters, put it in the quad, and they could develop it from there. So think about like so many different things that we could be doing, but we're not able to right now, and that have not materialized because we're blocked from the get-go with that amount of money. And I also want to say like $500, like likely is not a lot to cover an entire school-wide pilot program, but it is enough to cover specific individual pilot programs in different departments that we think can then broaden over. So we're not trying to like blow up the budget with a $500 like initiative development.
Thank you. All right. Others, come on. Sure.
Yeah. Period. As given.
Yeah, I mean, we can forward you the receipts. I'm sure, like, I don't know, like, we can put the game if you don't want to trust. Wait, can I speak about member or do I lose my speaking rights?
I would say that you don't do that because you're presenting. All right, there's 20.
Wait, Mert.
Hold on. We got to do this. We got to do this one at a time here. So
I'm so sorry. I'm just taking the minutes.
Can we move the shuttles money to initiatives and find another service except for shuttles?
what? Hold on. Who's speaking right now? But
Sorry.
okay, so we were out of time there. That used up the full time. So we still have 2 more minutes left. We still have 2 more minutes left for debate, but the minute had expired that was yielded all over the room. So is there anyone else that would like to speak right now from the UA? Khalil, 1 minute. Yielded to Musa.
Yeah, okay, really quickly, just to highlight the initiatives I want to do, the Black History Month banner costs $200 of our own money. That's another concrete example. The second thing is I think the airport shuttles does a lot of good work. Everyone else who is in the UA here knows how much it benefits students. 1,000 students take it to like the international airport to then catch their rides. I think it's a bit reductive if the UA were to not do airport shuttles. Secondly, I don't think we should be capping like the amount of creativity we can do in the UA as regards to other types of services we can provide with the Initiatives Development Fund.
All right, there's still 30 seconds there.
Oh, wait, one more thing is, Mo is about to email you guys all the receipts.
Wonderful. All right. Anyone else? We have 1 more minute left. 30. I can't see whose hand that is. I'm sorry. Or I guess Simon's here. Do you have a minute?
Yeah, I think also just, looking at the math of it all, it just doesn't quite work out. So the program costs about $5 per person in addition to $5 per charging per person. If that's a ticket to the airport, cost $8 cents. And probably will get you their costs. So I don't think that I personally have taken the airport available times and like so I don't think the program was running, and I also think that it's quite about to send an email at 11 p.m. with amendments to your budget. And again, in that sense, I yield my time to Jesse.
Yeah, I just want to again, I just would like to encourage people to think about what about these initiatives made it such that this information was only available on campus. Immediate.
All right, excuse me, sorry, that's 1 minute. We've also reached a time for debate. We've elapsed debate. Is there, you made the motion?
Let's do 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. Is there a second to extend by 10 minutes? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We'll have 10 more minutes for debate. Please raise your hand if you would like to speak.
Feel free to give me a lot of time.
Thank you. Naya will go and then Khalil.
So just a point about why I said at 11 p.m. I know Mo was in back and forth communication with Kate Bonner up until I think 9 or 10 p.m. last night after we got the change and allocation from business services, and we had to get confirmation, so that's pretty much the only reason why it was waited. But we're generally ready to send everything out, and then that happened, so we're gonna go back and forth with Kate Bonner. And I guess you're welcome to reach out to Kate Bonner.
Do you want to? You have 30 seconds left, or
Yeah.
do you want to?
Okay, I'll start and then I'll need someone to give me more time to finish. Regarding if this is an effective service to use, 2 or 3 points. The first is, I think if SEPTA was more preferable to people, they would be taking SEPTA instead of the airport shuttles. The reason people do enjoy the airport shuttles is because A, it's efficient, B, it's cost effective, and then C, it's environmentally friendly. I do think there's a lot of benefit then in why people take like airport shuttles over walking to a SEPTA station, taking a SEPTA station, and getting there. The second point is, I do think evaluating airport shuttles as like at this specific level is a bit of an unreasonable bar to set for a service from PSG. We can look to other groups in PSG who do. I'll just give me time.
1 minute. Simon.
I think it's an unreasonable bar to set for a PSG service. If you look to other groups in like PSG, for example, like with SpecCon, I think like if you look at the cost for the honorarium to ticket attendance, it's obviously going to be a lot higher per like head of person compared to airport shuttles. So I think it's unreasonable to set a bar and then say the UA should scrap its airport shuttle service that we've been doing for 24 years. The third thing is also like there is a lot of behind the scenes work that Mo does and that we've been doing this past week to then make sure all the costs are aligned and make sure all the receipts are there. Here's a receipt of just the fall cost. Also it's all emailed out to you guys. So like we're not trying to scam you guys. I'm trying to act in bad faith, obviously, but this is all the clarity. It's also all over your email.
Thank you. Do we have other Khalil? Yes, 1 minute, and then we'll go around.
The goals for students that come down more or like expand most of like the airport shuttles. Second point, I think this same point is raised in law amendments, so be more protective of amendments. Like if we just about schedule amendments, so we can specify more that is $10.
Great. Do you yield the rest? 30 seconds, Musa.
Okay. I do think when you evaluate the airport shuttles program or any other line item in the UA or across the board, like have a relatively reasonable standard for how you approach an efficient service. And really like, I'm telling you, if SEPTA was better, people would be taking SEPTA. But clearly airport shuttles has worked. Clearly it's been working for 24 years. I hope it works for 24 more. So.
Thank you. Ryan, go ahead, 1 minute.
Yeah, just to add on about the airport shuttles. I don't really think, once again, just adding on that it's a fair comparison to compare it to SEPTA. I feel like, especially for people who live on the other side of campus, away from the Penn Medicine Station, the option is spend $20 to $30 on the Uber or take the $5 airport shuttle. So I think just the convenience that the airport shuttles are providing a lot of students is something that needs to be considered. And when you suggest taking SEPTA is generally harmful because if you did a survey of the student body, I would say less than 10 or 15% of them are choosing to take SEPTA to go to the airport. They're all choosing to use Uber, Lyft, or a more expensive alternative. So shouldn't we be trying to save our students some money at UA?
Do you want to yield your 15 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan said it perfectly.
Thank you. Charmaine, we'll go. Yeah, you next. 1 minute. Yeah, I got you.
Like infringe on public's rights to act however they want to act and like do their initiatives how they want to do their initiatives, and then we shouldn't be trying to use the budget in a way to push for a certain agenda. I feel like that's the same thing for the UK, like even though maybe like people think differently, but we shouldn't be trying to use the budget to like push for the UA to do different initiatives to the US.
Thank you. You have 25 seconds left. Do you want to yield that, Charmaine? To me or Musab or well, she doesn't really need to be I guess if you want additional time. Sure, you have 30 seconds.
Look at it, we standardize just as much as we did, as much as we did for every single other group. The biggest thing is that we're allocating $8,000, every single one of these line items are being allocated to the student body, not to internal UA, not to like, not to anything like that. Every single one of our line initiatives are coming into coming into us and into the student body. That's one of the biggest things that I take away from us.
Thank you. Chime, 1 minute.
Yeah. I just wanna make a point, it's 1,000 people per year for the entirety of the year out of 12,500 student population, so if you're looking at a semester servicing around 4% of the student population, which is knowledge, and also I am a big proponent of moving the funding from agricultural to the UA initiatives, to put forward an initiative that would make a big impact on campus. Like you guys did in the arch on the second floor, it's a big impact, but it's not coming out of your budget right now. So coming up with these initiatives that have a big impact where you're not funding it every single year, I think this is an overall better use of the funds in my personal. I think that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a great thing. There's the UA no difference between the market like providing rail. Secondly, the rail is one of the safest for transportation in America. There's going to be rail, and also the AM or EF point. The Penn Met station is less than 3 blocks away from the gate quad, so really not that much of a difference.
That's 1 minute. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. My apologies. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. It's hard for me to see in this room because we're not raised like we are in Huntsman. So I'm not trying to discriminate against anyone. My apologies for not. So we can do an order if that's preferable. But I'll call on you next. Are there other folks that would like to speak? I see Sophie. I see Naya. David. So we'll go. Maddie as well. So we'll go. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on. Let me write this down real quick so we keep a good list here. Make sure we're fair to everyone. If you just give me 1 moment, please, I'd be very grateful.
Do you want to call someone on the time?
Yeah, I guess while I'm doing this, please go ahead. Shiga.
Where you want to go to me?
Okay, no, the UA is so cool and deserving, so many double standard. Why didn't you don't need it?
What? So can you? Sorry, there's people talk. Can you just repeat that last line for the minutes?
Wait, what?
I can't. Sorry, what do you?
You had some double standards.
Say it again.
Could you
Zach.
repeat just so we can?
And why did it lose control if it don't need it?
Motion for
Thank you. And okay, there's been a motion for a 2-minute recess. Is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? Give me 1 moment to pause the All right, we thank you all for your patience on Zoom. We're back from recess now. So what I'm going to do to make sure that everyone's being called on again, I sincerely apologize for not calling on people in the back. I promise I was not intentionally failing to call on people. You can take my word for that or not, but please, if you would like to speak, we have 5 more minutes left. Of course, we can always extend. As I said to Silva a minute ago, I'm not going to limit. This is up to you. You all make the motions. You can decide how long we want to speak and whatever we get through. Please raise your hand high if you would like to speak. Okay. We'll go Sophie. Sorry? Say that one. Yeah, that'd be helpful right now. Yeah, if you could stand right now if you want to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes, bro.
Okay, so I have the 4 of you, right? And Naya. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Give anyone else that would like to speak for the UA, internal budget, debate section? Obviously, you'll be speaking, but you're not a member at the moment. You're presenting this budget. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't see you. Anyone else that would like to speak? That's not a hand. Solon, is it? No? Good. And would you like to speak to me or you're just standing up? Okay. All right. We will start in just a moment. Thank you all for standing up so I can see you clearly. I'm just gonna make sure there's no one else on Zoom that wants to speak. We're all good. We will have, and this is 6 people. We have 5 minutes left, so we will have to extend for our final speaker if we want to, but we'll start with Sophie. You have 1 minute whenever you're ready.
I also just want, now that the cost falling on the DOA, allocate it and have something different than in the past. And I think that like when there is a hit service that is accepted to the airport, accepted to the core part of the city and what it would be again, student government systematically promoting an alternative fundamental system of moving people in a climate effective way is just not something that I think student government should be promoting. Especially paying right now, pay moreover, procedurally, like the negotiations of the price of the shuttles were not done yesterday. They were done 2 weeks ago, right? And that should have been something. Not true. So I think presenting it as a kind of last minute thing in what would have been the 3rd budget meeting is just like not good practice at UA. I would like to see future budget cycles just a little bit more transparency there. Furthermore, it isn't like students are often not used to shuttles far more than they are.
That's 1 minute. Thank you so much. All right, come on. Sorry? You have to move on? Okay, 1 minute.
Regarding the shuttles, the decision calculus is not between take the shuttles and take SEPTA. Students make the decision between taking the shuttles and taking an Uber. This is also just empirically true, I think, for the majority of students. And so I don't think by not having shuttles, people suddenly jump on the SEPTA. Regarding, really quickly back to Mert's point about Project Initiative Development Fund, the reason it's not shoved into that line item is because if it were to be shoved in that line item, then admin think that we have an over-reliance on our own budget and we have to be continuously funding our own services rather than being able to petition other administrators. And so we encourage ourselves not to overfund that Project Initiatives Development Fund.
Thank you.
Can I yield to Naya?
There's, sure, yes, 20 seconds.
Yeah, negotiations were done, re-advised, because on February 26th, I know party members who asked for the full proposals. I'd like to clarify again, the US has not had to pay for the shuttles. So we had to get complete invoices from party members on February 26th, that was Thursday. She responded immediately and said, I'll get back to you by tomorrow. The next day on Friday, she finally responded around 1 p.m.
That's 1 minute. You are on the queue, so you have, you cannot continue.
But she's present, she can jump. No?
We're gonna go in order just to make sure we're being absolutely fair. Please, some of you are next.
That the UA is now having to take on more of these costs, which is true. But the UA is funded through students' tuition, and one of the line items in the tuition is transportation, which does fall directly with the airport shuttles. So I think this is important for us to understand.
I think the best service that any club organization providing is the airport shuttles. Maybe there's efficient ways to go about funding them in the future, but we're funding for next year. And this resource is the most direct way that we're giving back to students by representing something that's on a line item for cost of attendance.
Thank you. 25 more seconds.
Salary and is like in bill expenses, that's in non-bill expenses, so we don't have to put you for that one.
There's 15 more seconds. Do you want to yield that to the chair? Okay, thank you. And if we could, guys, if we could please keep the crosstalk down, I appreciate it. We just want to make sure we can hear everything. Is there a point of order or question? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, the cost of transportation is not a billable expense. So when you look at the tuition budget, there's a part that's paid to university and a part that's considered as part of the cost of attendance, but it's not paid to the university, and that includes transportation and the other thing with books, which is the reason why French doesn't fund book clubs anymore, because it's supposed to be part of your non-billable expenses. The money from the UA comes from the student activity fee. Which,
I think this is a little more than you said a moment ago. So sorry, it was just supposed to be repeating, but I appreciate that. All right, so next up, we have Khalil, 1 minute.
Our budget with that type of students, but it's like one of the initiatives that costs way more. Like some events cost per student $250, and they don't do as much impact or as much as much impact or as much use. Second, talking about like sustainability, actually that sounds more sustainable than accept that this during the last meeting is like the advisory board, that they're amazing job, whether like they're offsetting their carbon initiative, offsetting their carbon independent initiatives, or even like different PGs for like shuttle. So like the shuttle is more sustainable than the step that is so fast.
Thank you. You have 15 more seconds. Thank you. Okay, we have Naya, and Naya is the last one, so we can reevaluate if we want to extend after she speaks, but you have 1 minute.
I said the last email from Courtney Dombrowski after we had asked for the invoices and after getting the costs down was at 1 p.m. and then it's forwarded to Courtney Dombrowski to Leslie said. So coming back and forth with communications with Katie Bonner. The last email from Katie Bonner and FEMA was around 9:39 p.m. while he was also at the gala and also she's a full-time parent. So with that being said, it was late last night, which is why I sent out the memo. So the other thing is to the amount that the airport shuttle serve. I think 500 twice a semester, or sorry, twice a year is 1,000 people. I think there are several. I don't really even have to really say anything else, but there's several organizations within this room right now that have events with less than 100 people.
Thank you. You have 12 more seconds. Yes.
Yeah, the math, spike on $125,000, 600 attendees per person, $209. These are the numbers Mo was getting. So I think there's no point to set an unreasonable bar for airport shuttles and not apply it consistently throughout.
Thank you.
That might be a double standard.
That's a minute. Thank you so much. So what I'll say, and thank you so much for the comments here. We have reached the 10-minute extension that we did. There was Maddie still on this list. Are there any motions to further extend debate? Is there a second? Or sorry, by 10 more minutes. Is there a second? Was there a second? Sorry? Sure. Is there a second? Sorry, is that a second or is that just a hand? You're seconding it. Okay. All elected members in favor, please raise your hands high if you are in favor of extending by 5 more minutes. Just give Zoom a second. All opposed? Oh boy. Can we? Yes. We're gonna do a roll call, Julia.
Of what?
On this motion to extend by 5 minutes. And actually, he's not on the UA, so he can't really do that. Is there just someone on the? But we will do a division. But thank you for that point, sir. Just one moment while we get our sheet up here. And this is again, just to clarify, this is a motion to extend debate by 5 minutes. And you're just voting yes or no if you want to extend the debate.
Okay, Naya,
Yeah.
Nisab,
Yeah.
Carol,
All right.
I say vote to extend. Taya, Miriam,
Pro.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Mary, my sound was down. Could you repeat that?
Pro.
De Silva,
Con.
Chinmay,
Um,
Tanvi, Eddie, Kushi,
What was that? Good. What was your vote? Oh, Con.
Shaughnessy, sorry, his name. Ben,
Ben Woods.
okay. Aisha, Ashika,
This is your motion to extend debate by 5 minutes. So yes would be you would like to extend by 5 more minutes.
wait, does everyone know what we were voting on?
I mean.
I did say it right before, but anyone can change their vote at any point while we're still in roll call. Okay.
Okay.
And keep it going.
Pierce,
Pro.
Ryan Kwong, is he here? No. Stanley, Amira, Samyang, Charmaine, Solon, Sophie, Ryan, UK, Kavan. Okay.
Aiden, Ben Woods also voted.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Ben Woods, I
did he
think,
vote in the
has
chat?
voted. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Wait, what did he say?
Ben is aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Simple majority?
Yeah.
It passes 12-11.
Wonderful. All right, nail biter there. So we'll have 5 more minutes. Maddie was already on the list, so I'll start with her. Do we have other people that would like to speak? Simon, Fons. Yeah, I got you. Any other? Khalil. And Sophie, that's a hand. Yep.
5 seconds.
Yep. So we have already reached 5 here. I can still write people's names down if you'd like. No? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. We're gonna have to extend for you, but I'm happy to write your name down. All right.
Okay.
Wonderful. So Maddie, we'll start with you for 1 minute. Is it or the yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so there was 2 times where I almost missed my flight, and it's not because I was just running late, it's because the buses were running so late, and the buses run like 30 minutes behind sometimes due to quote unquote traffic, where it's not in some, I mean, you could say the sector is not reliable, but at least the regional rail is pretty reliable and on time consistently. Yeah, like the buses just run behind.
Great. All right. 15 more seconds. Maddie, anything else to say?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we apologize if like the shuttles were not on time for you. That's really inconvenient. I'm sorry, but also we try our best to work with business services to make sure they are on time. They have been on time for the vast majority of instances. I'm sorry it happened to you. So.
Thank you. That's a minute. All right. God, my handwriting is. Sophie, no.
Oh my God, how is this so that bad? It looks like Sophie to me. Let's do Sophie.
Or wait, it's not Sophie. Who the fuck? Simon. Simon. Get off.
Can you do it again? Sorry.
Because you were the one to negotiate.
business services, like what was the day that they locked in the price being $8,000?
I'm gonna ask for DeSilva's help on this. DeSilva was also in the meeting. We negotiated the price down to $8,000. It was early February.
Is this? Hold on. We can only have a couple people talking at a time here. Could you just clarify your question, Sophie? What are you asking? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Like, as if it happened yesterday, the TV didn't happen.
Okay, we need to have two people talking at a time here. So you're just saying, when was it brought to 8K from the original estimation of 12? Okay.
It wasn't April.
The
What are we talking about?
You're saying the original projection was 12,000, and then we brought it down to 8,000. The question is, when did that negotiation occur?
Okay, to clarify, from my understanding, and maybe I have the wrong understanding. This year, in this fall, airport shuttles cost us $5,000. In the spring, I would assume that it would also cost us $5,000, except DeSilva and I negotiated to bring the number down from $10,000 to $8,000 around in early February with a meeting with business services, because we removed the advertising cost because business services was charging us an exorbitant amount for advertising. We decided to do the advertising ourselves. We negotiated the number down to $8,000. Am I correct?
Yeah, I was gonna give the exact.
So
Yeah,
we're
yield
definitely thank you for that. We now and I realized there was supposed to be Simon. I do apologize for my very poor handwriting here, but Sophia, if you don't mind that I've switched you with Simon on that list. So you just spoke. Thank you. Now Kavance.
One question. First question, how many buses are running or like doing the shuttles at a time? Like, do we have one bus or one?
One.
Okay, so then my second statement is that I can understand why she made, they only have one bus going back to the airport. And so therefore septic would kind of make a little bit more sense because they have multiple trains. And I would click and give the rest of my time to that.
Yeah, I think this all boils down to one question. If the university thought that this was not a smart financial decision, hence pulling the funding, unlike previous years, how can the UA justify passing costs on this?
Thank you. So 30 seconds there.
You have my time to so
I'll quickly just counter that, just because like other institutions do actually have paid that. That's why people have given us $3,000 to cover some of the costs of it. So just because business services has such funding doesn't mean that the rest of the university doesn't. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's 15 more seconds.
Never mind.
But you could yield to the chair. Thank you. All right. Khalil. 1 minute.
As leaders, we have these those options. Second, also that personal plans. It's not personal. Getting late or anything like it happens in every transportation they get on set down, then it breaks down. Like almost happens every day on Fridays. So those options are there. I'm worried like if people want like first step that would like those who have to use step and then but they keep using medical chat. We're not really actually growing year by year.
Yeah, first, I urge you to still refer back to Mo's memo. It has all the accurate information on all the accurate rationale. Second, like the decision calculus is not between a shuttle or SEPTA, it's between an Uber or the shuttle. That's why people find that they save money. Thirdly, actually, we have 2 seconds, I'll leave it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Simon now.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say is in response to Zach's point about like shifting the cost burden onto the students. Notably, the reason this is happening is because the entire school is facing a quadrupling in its endowment tax, funding constraints across the board. And so it's not a matter of the administrators suddenly throw their pen like off the piece of paper and they're like, okay, we don't think this is useful anymore. It's rather that they themselves cannot fund their own departments and they need us to then fund this service. I think that from the UA perspective is that it serves 1,000 students per year for a relatively low cost. It's seen very beneficial. I like don't really see a reason not to do this, to be honest. So
thank you. There's still 30 or 25 seconds.
Naya, do you want to say anything else?
Again, I think there seems to be a point of confusion about the further negotiations. Again, I think if Julia were to check her emails on February 27th at 1:05 PM, I forwarded the email negotiations from Brian Dombrowski. There's been several ongoing negotiations with the census issues.
Thank you. That's 1 minute. So we have reached the 5 additional minutes that we approved, that we extended by debate. So we have now elapsed debate unless there are any motions to further extend. Just give folks a moment for that. Seeing that there are no more motions, we now will move to MERT. We'll start with 2 minutes, Budget Committee to provide their rationale. Whenever you're ready, Eddie.
There's no change. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. 2 minutes.
We added a new line item and we cut stuff from other areas to have the 0% change.
Thank you so much. Okay, any debate on MERT? 1 minute speaking time. Anyone have any points? Is it? Yeah, we're on MERT at the moment. All good. Anyone like to speak or make a motion?
Motion to elapse debate.
Is there a second? Second. All elected members in favor of elapsing debate. Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. Thank you so much. Penn Labs, we'll start with 2 minutes for Budget Committee.
Okay, so basically we fulfill all the requests for technology, but we did not fulfill all the requests for trial. Following similar I guess rationale for previous cuts.
Thank you. Yep, feel free to come up. And then 2 minutes whenever you're ready.
All right. I just want to come off of that previous conversation by mentioning that depending on how you do the math, Penn Labs spends no more than $3 per student to provide our entire suite of services. Might I remind you, this is the majority of all GSR bookings made at this university. Recently, we added GSR bookings for an entire new building at the university, and we increased the utilization to nearly 100% for less than $3 a student, again, just to be clear. I would like to address a few concerns that I know were brought up between last meeting and this time. First, the main is just of external funding, which I was made aware the board is concerned about. I want to make it clear that the budget we receive from the UA does not cover all of our technology costs. We have nearly, depending on how you do the math, around $30,000, $35,000 and completely unavoidable technology costs every year that we spend a lot of time and effort, right? Nearly all of my time is spent working with, doing whatever I can to get the funding to fill this hole. And while I would love to be able to get more money from these sources, I mean that I just can't make that magically happen. And if the UA would rather fill all of our technology budget, if that's the rationale we're going for, then please, thank you. And then lastly, I just want to reaffirm our continued position that we think uniquely to us, internal costs are operational costs. The reason we're able to run a very lean budget, right? These services are a fraction of the cost. They cost hundreds of thousands of dollars from any real third-party vendor. The only reason we are able to maintain this is because we continue to maintain and attract talent from students here. This is simply impossible without a social budget. So once again, I would like to reaffirm that this incredibly slim $2 to $3 a student to maintain all of our services needs not be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect timing. All right, do we have debate here? I'll write names down. Musab, see you. There are other people that would like to speak for this section? Lovely, please go ahead, Musab.
Yeah. Podcast, for Katie Bonner, ISC contributes all the necessary Amazon credits. Like I would also contribute to that in a second. And the second is also Katie Bonner also quoted that we received around $8,000 sponsorship costs. I think the perspective then from myself at least is that the sponsorship would cover internal and then ISC would cover technology.
Yeah.
And do you want to yield
Yeah,
them
yeah.
40 seconds?
Yeah, I wish it worked that way. ISC gives us roughly around $10,000 annually in Amazon credits. It is our continued interest to negotiate with them. Again, I would love if they would pay all of our Amazon credits. But that's simply not how things are looking. As for the sponsorship funds, I want to highlight similar to the ISC, these are highly unstable funds, right? We will continue to need to pay these costs every month, regardless of what happens. I cannot guarantee you what our sponsorship funds will be next year. And second, you can do the math yourself. The sponsorship funds, in addition to the approximately $10,000 in ISC funding we've received annually, as well as the technology costs provided for the UA, are roughly break even on our compute costs.
Thank
So
you.
while
And
I'd
that's,
love to have
sorry,
access for social-
that's 1 minute. Thank you so much. Any other points? See, points here. Are there any other folks who would like to speak? Naya as well. No other hands. Okay, please go ahead.
I was just like, that I understand. So I just think, I wouldn't see why not when we try to not, work with last we should, continue to provide our services at the rate that we.
Thank you. And you have 35 seconds. You could yield to the chair or Simon. Is that who you're yielding to?
Yeah, I just get that.
Okay.
I think I'm just staying on this lens, but also recognizing that considering possible amendments within this to recognize any situations in which it might like room situations such as crashes. I think that's something that the UA can be amenable to help that's a help facilitate that for all space. Sure.
Thank you. And I'll just say, people can propose amendments that are within Penn Labs at this moment. And I know there are amendments that implicate Penn Labs, but those are between branches, so we'll do that during general discussion. And also we'll focus this discussion right now on the current allocation. We then had Naya.
I think broadly, I have failed on the point where I think when you having to use social funding, whether that's food or retreat or whatever, as a reason to get members to join your organization, I think that speaks to individual characters, and I think that should kind of shift your mission a little bit. I don't think there's a single Penn student who's really doing things for a slice of pizza or for anything, especially if they are putting in that many hours. I don't think it would make that much more sense. So that for me, the argument is just slightly.
Thank you. You have 30 seconds.
I
Yield to this. Okay.
Yeah, to be clear, like we're not buying or paying our members with food. The point of the social budget is just to facilitate community building events and how we enjoy the club. And I mean, my simple response is, would you be willing to take accountability for the loss of quality and the loss of our ability to provide services if this change were to be made? Because I'd love to shape our mission for that direction and not to spend this money, but I don't see how it's possible.
Wonderful. We have 2 more minutes left for this. We can always extend it. Are there more? I see Musab here and Sophie. Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this moment? Okay. Musab, you have 1 minute.
Regarding cost struggles with technology, I'm more than willing to have the UA also work at labs to help alleviate a lot of costs. I think you guys have a lot of great work. We definitely like to collaborate more on a lot of different things. Curious to know if technology costs are a big struggle. Why did you request 18K then? Because the program was fully fulfilled for technology.
Do you want to yield to him?
Yeah.
40 seconds.
Frankly, me and my other co-director are new to this process. I felt I didn't know if it was reasonable at all to request the same amount of review costs. Like request.
So 20 seconds. Thank you. All right, Sophie, 1 minute.
Driving with social things like that. I feel like from my understanding, Penn Labs isn't a club that you can just actively be a part of. So all the people who are there like must have like a real passion. They're willing to like sit and code apps for students all night and day. So I feel like that's not necessarily like, super valid. And then also in terms of the boardroom funds, like I'm definitely in support of that. I feel like out of all the branches we're funding, like Penn Labs is doing the most like real difficult work for kids ever getting. So I
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't hear the end of that. You have 30 more seconds to me or him. Thank you. All right. So we do have a minute now with those yields that we just had. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Anyone else who would like to speak to Penn Labs? Seeing that there are none, are there any motions? Sorry? Was there? Okay. Thank you. Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. Thank you so much. We will now move on to SAC. And we'll Eddie's well, Pierce, are you with us here?
Yeah,
Well,
what's up?
Are you able to, so Mo is not here and unfortunately Eddie's not here at the moment, seeing that you're the final person on budget committee, would you be able to speak for 2 minutes on the rationale for the SAC budget? If not, we can defer to or you could yield to Musab.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to Musab because
Okay.
I hear a single person speaking.
Absolutely.
Better than you.
Okay, so we'll have 2 minutes for you to, on behalf of budget committee, to present the rationale for the SAC allocation. Sorry? Oh, the speaker of the computer? Yeah, sure. Yeah, when someone speaks, I'll be sure to do that. In 2 minutes, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I defer to Musab.
The
Thank you.
people in the money from SAC, are the people who are not in this room, who don't get a say in this process, who are also the 10,000 undergraduates who we have been elected here to serve. And that's why we've made it a priority to put the most amount of money we can into SAC. And that's why like you'll see an increase. The reason it shows a decrease is because Mo did a lot of digging and found that there was a $50,000 cut in SAC going to Penn's music department. We negotiated it down into a 5-year like payment decrease plan. So we're giving back around $30,000 to SAC. It only says minus like about 1% because you shifted the 50K away out of the SAC into a line item, but in reality it's about a $30,000 increase. And I really want to echo that like the people under SAC, like those are your friends, those are your roommates, those are all everyone here who like you're not representing. So I think this is probably the most important place to put the most amount of money.
Thank you. Do you want to yield?
Yeah, I yield. So
Wonderful.
I'll get it.
So you have 2 minutes whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let you know when.
Sure.
I like how like there's like a little purple thing goes like
Yeah.
speaker.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Great.
Hey everyone, it's Zach from SAC. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. Simply put, each branch serves the student body. Each branch's work is critical. Each branch deserves dignity. I don't think we should play some type of game that one branch is inherently more valuable than another. You guys are all student leaders, I respect that. Therefore, we reject SAC. And I get your point, but I was elected by every single group's treasurer for this role, so I think I have some agreements to talk on behalf of the statutory body. Reject any dollar from the UA that comes from the budgets of the class boards, SPEC, SKU, NEC, MERT, and Penn Labs. We stand together, we stand in solidarity. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a minute 15. Would you like to yield your time?
Does anyone want to say anything? Anyone have any comments?
Oh boy. I asked you do have your time.
Thank you, player. Simon. Could you, as the vice chair for the student allocations committee, please speak to how you will regain students' trust in utilizing the 1.6 million US dollars that have been awarded to you by the undergraduate assembly? I think the new SAC executive board would be helpful if we have new elections.
Okay.
2 years internal process. My internal process? Turnover process. I think like an at-large election would be helpful. With the entire student body can vote for who's on SAC. And for that, I can forward everything to OSA. I'm not planning on running for re-election, so I don't really have a stake in that. Understood.
20 more seconds.
20 more seconds.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's ticking now.
Am I
About
bombing? Like,
15.
is this like stand-up comedy?
You know,
feel like-
it's
I feel like
lightening the
maybe-
mood a bit.
Speaker, aren't
You
you
got 10
supposed to
seconds.
be non-biased though?
I'm telling you how much time you have.
Anyways,
I'm not, this isn't me.
Vance, how are you today?
Thank you so much. That is 2 minutes. Really appreciate that. All right. So now we will have debate. We'll do 5 minutes, 1 minute speaking time. Please raise your hand if you would like to speak. Khalil, I will put you down. We still have that to hand. Naya, there's a hand. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? A second time. Are you trying to speak a second time or you just, okay. Anyone else that wants to speak? Wonderful. And if you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt the conversation, guys, Zach and De Silva. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's try to, I appreciate the, guys, can we please, thank you. We're trying to keep the meeting moving. I appreciate the humor. All right, Khalil, whenever you're ready, 1 minute. Yeah, if we keep it quiet, please, and I'll give you your full minute back whenever you're ready.
Let's get Muslim and family to say so. Every plan on campus is that to have money they had last year. I don't know if any treasurer of campus would be happy hearing that. That's the would be happy. Oh, you might get less money. Yay, what's last year? Everyone is very active and present and it's very like unusual that happening. Like just because you want to have like food around like our ESG or I'm the same budget for everything. We're gonna like make lives of like 500 clubs way worse. Gonna like literally hit their programming and hit their like something like directly. I think that's not very reasonable from SEC. And if you have like things that are proving that servers like you know that I would love to do that.
So you have 8 seconds left. You can do whatever you want with that time. Thank you. All right. Musab, 1 minute.
He was also elected president by solicitors and Eddie, this is a budget committee decision. Secondly, they met with the advisors of SAC, i.e. like Katie and Rodney, who also thought this would be a beneficial idea. And then regarding like the rejection of $30,000, I go to this point, SAC is a massive symbol for students. They want to participate in the clubs. They don't have funds to participate in them. I don't think we should be stripping away the opportunity to fund literally everyone else on campus. Not to say that like the purpose of SAC is more important than any other branches. It's just that the breadth of people that SAC supports is incredibly high. Plus the club's doubled under, so it's pretty crazy. I'll yield to Khalil.
Just very quick, I don't think we like stand together is gonna serve the community for the whole year next year, or it's gonna let some of the questions that are gonna happen next board of like, oh, why we can't pay less funding. I don't believe that's reasonable for the community and it's our responsibility to speak on the community.
That's 1 minute. Thank you so much. Naya, you are next. 1 minute.
Yeah. I want to say I was extremely concerned to hear that statement, giving again that SAC serves the broader student body probably more than all of us with the money that they have. And again, same thing, the amount of clubs that the funding has increased significantly. Aside from that, though, my concerns with the cultural groups, I think that actually be able to like Simon, for example, speak to how important that funding is and why you put it once you get an increase to SAC.
35 seconds, Simon.
Yeah, I would like to speak, not as my role as an associate member for the UA, but as the chair of the Asia Pacific Student Coalition, a member of the 7B. We have seen numerous times SAC inconsistencies and frankly irresponsibility when it comes to distributing funding across all student groups here at Penn. And frankly, I think that there was this response that we've seen here of rejecting that 30,000 it is just continuing this irresponsibility and this inconsistency of their dedication to support all student groups, of which that has doubled across all campuses.
That's 1 minute. Thank you so much. So that was the list. Are there more people that would like to speak? We have 2 more minutes left. I see De Silva. I see, let me write this down here. We have Silva, Shika. Were you also raising your hand, David? I got you, De Silva. And okay, so it's so we have 2 more minutes left. We can extend. There are 6 people on this list. De Silva, you have 1 minute. Thank you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, also I'm actually concerned with Zach's statements and that like he's okay with us giving back whatever money we've given them. If that's the case, maybe with some later amendments, we should be looking to be taking from Zach's budget if they are so willing to donate, but I want to yield the rest of my time to Simon to finish what you said.
Thank you very much. I could pull some numbers from you. We are still so far, this is a quote from Katie Bonner. We have not received funding for rounds 4, 5, or 6 of contingency funding. Hence, we are not, SAC is not even discussing round 7 contingency funding. Cultural groups, such as PPA, CSA, VSA are all still waiting on funding from round 5. And so they are not able to move forward with their events. And there are very tight deadlines. Moreover, I have sent multiple emails to Zach, some over 2,000 words, and have received 0 response. Zach, I will say to his benefit, has called me. However, I have not heard anything from Zach at all, and that goes exactly against what their preamble in the Constitution of being responsive to all student groups. And so ultimately, I think this again shows that level of inconsistency and irresponsibility.
That's 1 minute. Thank you very much. Okay, so we now have Ashiko.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. I appreciate you bringing it up. If you guys care so much about SAC funding, please give us the $8,000 from the shuttle that we proved inefficient. I think it's despicable that you are using other groups to distract from the fact that UA has run an unprofessional and non-transparent, quite frankly, incompetent budget process. So look at yourselves first before you cast other stones. And vote me out of office, vote everyone out of office for SAC. Takes 2 to tango. OSA didn't send us spreadsheets on time with the rounds. So that's my take on it. I got my presentation.
So as someone who's on SAC's funding board and does these requests a lot, the issue of not how much SAC has in their budget. There are people on these reviewing boards that, yes, are not on top of it and they don't answer the emails. I'm not saying SAC in fact, I'm saying a lot of the people that have been appointed as delegates are not answering emails, they're not doing their
And
work.
that's 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, we now are to so we've actually reached the 5 minutes. Do we want to extend this debate period? Are there any motions? Are there, or if there aren't any? Sure. Is there a second? All elected members in favor of extending by 1 minute. Raise your hands high, please. Please raise your hands high if you're in favor of extending by 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Any opposed? Okay, that motion clearly passes. We'll have 1 more minute. David was next on the list. So you have 1 minute.
So maybe possibly being an alternative to Uber. I know people in the SEPTA Youth Advisory Board. I've talked about this confusion with them plenty of times. Grayson Forster, who initially thought it was, two-way trying to compete with SEPTA, but we're not trying to compete with SEPTA. We're trying to offer an alternative for people who feel unsafe on SEPTA, who feel unsafe on public transit, and who would prefer to take, a bus to go to the airport instead of relying on, the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, which has its own flaws. There are people who feel unsafe on that type of public transit. I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's keep this moving. We don't need to applaud, but all right. We've reached the time. Appreciate the passion in these speeches here. I'm glad that everyone is taking this so seriously. If we could please keep the crosstalk down. Excuse me, guys, please. Thank you so much. So we've reached the time on SAC. We'll now move to the let me just make sure we have do you have a question? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
In front of the body.
I'd ask that you remain seated, but I'm not gonna you can come up if you want. Okay.
Is that in the bylaws?
There's nothing in the bylaws that says who can stand up and who can't. So if you want to stand, you can stand. Do whatever pleases you. All right. Thank you so much. We will now move to class boards. not sure what's so funny here, but we group all class boards together. We have 2 minutes for a budget committee. Pierce isn't even here yet. Yeah, sorry, there's one designate. Who's the financial designate? You're the designate. Okay, wonderful. We have 2 minutes, and guys, if we could please keep the conversations down. We're trying to get through this. I appreciate the patience. 2 minutes for Musab on behalf of budget committee.
Yeah, main change is just internal programming. That's pretty much it. And then website hosting fees, that was taken out because website has not been updated in 3 years. The stipulation last was that it would be updated. That's not been, so it's cut.
Do you yield time?
I yield.
Thank you. 2 minutes for class board. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
There's not much to it. Nothing was like really removed other than the internal funding. I just want to touch on the website hosting fees. There's been a lot of confusion around the website itself, and we've been actively trying to update it. It's just a matter of literally a lost password, and we're tracking down graduated people to receive this password to actually update the classboard website, which has been its own struggle. But yeah, that was that inconsistency. And I just want to touch on a change we made from last year on the overall retreat funding. Retreat funding for the freshmen, if you can scroll up a little bit, was removed to $0 and reallocated to the other three class boards, because the other three class boards dealt with the retreat and the planning around it. And this was for kind of knowledge transfer. There's a big discrepancy between just kind of boards in general. Like I can't tell you how many freshmen on freshman class board know the seniors on senior class board, and it's because of overall cohesiveness. And that's kind of what retreat and internal funding does for us. It's more about knowledge transfer, less about the food and the actual stuff behind that. So I'm not looking to sit here and be like, we need our internal funding back, but more of an understanding of what our internal funding actually is. I'm also noting that we have 4 CB events, like the 4 CB Thanksgiving Holiday, Light Up Locust and whatnot. These are all done by all 4 class boards, and these events can be better with more cohesion and kind of understanding between it. So I'm not saying that we need the money for the internal funding, but more of an understanding of what it's actually being used for and what it actually benefits us. I'm open to any questions, yield my time or whatever else I do.
Thank you. You want to yield it to the chair? You have.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, also like, let's take out the negativity out of this room and just get through the long night, because it's been
Thank you.
I will not time this stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words, and definitely, I appreciate the energy here. We can keep this professional. I think we have done so, but we're all here to make people's lives better. All right, 5 minutes. Who would like to speak? I'll start with. Sorry. You can. You don't have to, but you can if you want. Khalil, Musab, same order here. Naya, Shiko, I see you. Anyone else besides those 4 would like to speak? No. Okay, 1 minute, Khalil.
I don't see why would be like that's any that money to that process. So that person, I would give factor for that effect. Almost the work is internal, they don't do anything. So most communication happens through the emails to the respective classes, everything happens like even the ticketing or anything happens collecting outside the platform. So what would be money have website? Like in principle, so I need to.
Yeah, wait, I fully understand, and I kind of had those same questions. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to sit here and be like, that can be an argument used for literally everything, including the undergraduate assembly, which you could use that same argument. But the class board specific one, if you go onto it right now, it shows you pictures from events and stuff like that. Something that we haven't been able to do is actually even upload our econ screen pictures for our class, because we haven't been able to update the website. So let alone just even pictures, just understanding what class board is or who's on it, I think is something that the website is used for. But I understand your point. It's just like you can generalize that argument to every kind of branch of student government, including the NEC, which doesn't do kind of communication through the website, but does it more through their Instagram posts. I know that the election.
Sorry, that's 1 minute.
I understand.
Appreciate it. Okay, we have Musab now. 1 minute.
Unclear if it's gonna change this year. I don't see a purpose in like funding bus host fees until we actually prove that they have the ability to host website. Regarding internal programming, like no other branches need food to have collaboration, like work together. The best example is from Spec, who like said they have so many like 10-hour long, 5-hour long meetings, and they don't have like the food to foster collaboration. Like I don't think it's very much needed. Like also because there's like only like 12 people per class board. Like I don't think you need to have like a battalion social to make sure you can fund econ stream or anything else.
You have 25 seconds. Yield to chair. Thank you. All right, Naya, you have 1 minute.
As far as like non-public goes, maybe you guys could do transition meeting with people that are required to do when there's a board change, I think would be really important. Also, you don't really need to implement, and also, as my understanding, I think there's been several retreats planned, like in social, couple retreats where there was no knowledge transfer at all, so.
I just want to say, I agree with all the points that were raised. Personally, I also agree that we don't need, and I agree with standardization across every platform of student government, including all the way to whatever, like spec or anything else that we've discussed. So I agree with your points. And something I just want to say also is we're updating the files, including a transition meeting, which has been something that Eddie himself is working on, helping engage sense that stuff student board. But we are working on exactly what you just said about knowledge transfer and making bylaws so every single person, when they come into office, understands what's actually going on, which is something we realized we can't do for the freshmen this year, which is what we're trying to solve for next year.
Thank you. Perfect time in there. Ashika?
Thank you. I'm good.
Is there a motion to elapse debate? Is there a second? All elected members in favor? Please raise your hand. Any opposed? Thank you. That motion clearly passes. So what I will say now, we were sent in an amendment that moved monies between line items within class board. I don't know if that person wants to propose that amendment, but this would be the time to do that. Yeah. Would you like to? Sorry? So it just, you say you want to propose this amendment and then you need a second from the UA as well.
In the line item. Board, and it would be decreasing 1550 from freshman.
Yeah.
Increasing 1650 less freshman cost for each grade.
Wonderful. Yeah. And then, well, hold on. We'll just wait for it to come up. And then I guess, is there a second from the UA at this point? We can wait till it's up. Is that a second? Okay. So we'll entertain this amendment. Just wait 1 moment for it to come up on the board. All right. So, sorry. So basically what's going to happen. So I'll read this out. So just for everyone's information, the proposer, which is Sika here, is going to have 1 minute to explain the amendment, followed by 3 minutes of Q&A. Questions and answers are capped at 30 seconds. The budget committee will then be permitted a 1 minute response, and then the UA will begin debate on the amendment. Speech times are capped to 1 minute. There's no such thing as a friendly amendment to the budget. And then we can close the debate, and this requires 60% of members present for it to be approved. So you don't have to stand right now. You can be yielded time to answer questions, but you're not directly implicated here in our bylaws. So you'll have 1 minute, Shika, whenever you're ready, to propose and explain the amendment, and then we'll have 3 minutes for Q&A.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I just want to say that see, I made this amendment for internal reallocation because I was just originally confused on what certain funds are being used towards. And during our budget meeting on February 15th, class board representatives noted that Ecom Scream generally costs between $2,600 and $2,700. I did confirm these numbers with Ryan. And I've reached out to a couple of members on class board regarding this amendment. So this is just literally moving money within freshman class board. And the reasons are on the screen for that.
Wonderful. You have 20.
Amendment number.
Thank you. Do 25 or 20 seconds. Do you want to yield it to the chair or anything else you want to say?
I think that covered everything. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'll yield.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we now have 3 minutes for question and answer. You can be yielded. Actually, you know what? Because you're the financial designate, you can answer these questions because you're directly implicated in this. So you don't need to be yielded time to answer these questions. We have 3 minutes for question and answer, 30 second cap for each of those. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Well, if there are no questions, there's no time for you to speak. But okay, thank you very much. Budget committee now has 1 minute. Oh, is there a question? You have a question?
Yeah, so Mark, could you clarify this for me? I yield the time, Mark.
Sure.
Okay, great. I just
We'll
wanna
let it
say
slide.
A quick note. She did reach out to me about this amendment probably a couple hours ago, and I told her that I don't really agree with the amendment in general. I think that, econ stream it's in a week after you're elected, you're done with econ stream. And I think it's really good precedent to set budgeting skills, and increasing it this substantially for the econ stream line item sets this kind of bad precedent for the rest of the year in budgeting, and this event can be done with the amount allocated on the line item today. I actually don't know where the figures of 2,600, 2,700 came from. My year, it was $1,000 we spent, and 700 of it went towards Penn Commons rental fee, and 300 of it went towards snacks and glow sticks. So I'm saying you could have a better event with more money, but I think it's a good precedent to keep it low.
30 seconds. Thank you so much. Any other questions? There's well, there's no time there. So okay, we're gonna go in order here.
Wait, I get.
Vance, Khalil, I guess if you have a question, do you want to ask a question as well?
Can I like just comment? on that, or do
Not
you
right
guys
now. Not right now, because there's not a question that's being asked. We have 30 seconds speaking time. Vance, Khalil, and then yeah, we'll do that for now. Go ahead, 30 seconds.
Also said that he could was given $1,000 time. This looks for people where this game came from and where they can see this from the president should not know that.
Sure. And who would you have 15 seconds? Who do you want to yield to? And then whoever's answering has another 30 to the chair. Okay. And then who were you asking the question to?
I'll ask
To the proposer. Okay, so you have 30 seconds to respond to that.
Okay, well, I did reach out to Daniel and Ryan. I did not like receive a response. I reached out earlier today. I did like confirm these numbers with Ryan. And to answer where these numbers came from, they came from the UA GBM minutes from February 15th. Like the class board representatives did note that like this event generally costs between $2,600 and $2,700. If there's new information that can be posted about that, I'm open to hearing that.
Thank you. That's 30 seconds. Khalil? Do you want to yield?
Wait, sorry, I could.
It's for the class board if whether they vote yes or no for the amendment. The question was to the class board designate, right? And it was if you vote yes or no to this amendment.
I voted no.
You don't have a vote, but I appreciate that. You would vote no. Yes.
If this was a few $100, it'd be fine, but this is almost doubling the line item budget, which is just like you're setting a bad precedent for the freshman class board to not really learn about budget in their first event, which I think is really important.
Thank you. Any other questions at this time? Ryan, just a
Yeah.
So there's no in our bylaws. There's no method of amending it. Robert's rules does allow for an amendment to an amendment, only one amendment to an amendment, which requires a simple majority to pass. So because our bylaws don't say anything, I would defer to Robert's rules, which do allow one amendment to a proposed amendment. So if someone would like to propose an amendment to this amendment, they can do so, but there's only one amendment that can be done. Are you trying to make a motion? Yes, what is your amendment? Sorry? It can be done at any point.
It's like very non-disruptive. I don't see why like. I mean, if there's any other questions.
Well, hold on. He's making an amendment. What is your amendment?
To change the amount from 1650 to 700.
Okay, 1650 to 700. Could we put this on the board, even just on like a Google Doc, just so we're all very clear on what's going on?
Changing 1650.
If we can keep these numbers in our head. We're doing 1650. Could you just repeat it one more time? Yep. 1650 to 700. Okay. Not yet. You can ask in a second. Is there a second from the UA who would like to second this amendment to an amendment? Is that a second? Yes. So on. Okay. So now we will now go back to the process. you have 1 minute to explain your amendment.
I just want to apologize to Chica. I'm not really sure where the number 1650 came from. The overage for econ stream was closer to $800, so I would say allocating those $700 would be a good way of balancing teaching people to, for the freshman class to be financially responsible, while also accounting for the fact that there's a real increase in cost. For example, we used to pay $350 just for the electrician to be there for the bare minimum of hours, and that was a large cost that wasn't necessarily accounted for by the existing budget. I think if Mo were currently here, he would tell you that he was the one that suggested making these changes to the budget just to make sure that it actually reflects the reality of what each line item is being spent on. I really see no reason why this wouldn't be supported. I mean, it's just reallocating these funds within the freshman class board. So, yeah.
Thank you. Do you want to yield your 10 seconds?
I yield to Mert.
I agree
10
with what you
seconds.
said because cost would increase because it used to be on college green and after some unfortunate circumstances, it got moved to the finance power, which made a lot more kind of cost. But since it moved back to college green, those kind of electrician.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now we have 3 minutes for Q&A on the amendment to the amendment. 30-second speaking time. You have a question here. Any other questions for the amendment to the amendment? No. Okay, please. 30 seconds.
I mean, the reason I said 1650 is because, like I said, at our budget meeting, it's written in the minutes that, like, historically, on-stream generally costs between this number. So I would like to hear where 700 came from and if there's any updated information.
Do you want to yield? And then it would be a total of 45 seconds to the person answering?
Yes.
Yeah, 45 seconds.
Sure. I mean, the number $700 is the actual amount that it cost me this year for us to host econ stream. I had talked only to Mo about this. There was no direct communication between me and Nishika, so I understand something might have gotten lost in translation, but I just never thought that there would be a 1650 as the amount. Like, I don't know where that necessarily came from. I don't sit in all these budget meetings, so I'm just speaking from my own experience.
Wonderful. Do you want to yield? Thank you. Any other questions? Sorry? Motion to elapse and enter. Yeah, so the next, we'll move on to the next. Is there a second? Yeah, all those elected members in favor? Any opposed? Wonderful. Thank you so much. We now have 1 minute to Budget Committee to respond.
It's on a class board.
Okay. Do you want to yield your time? You yield? Okay. So as this is slightly different, this is not an amendment. This is an amendment to an amendment. This only is a simple majority as per Robert's rules. So because we'll start with a show of hands for this because I hope we don't need to do a roll call. All those elected members in favor of amending the amendment from $1,650 to $700, which we have on screen. All those in favor, elected members, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Okay, that clearly passes. Wonderful. We now are at 700. So we're now going to go back to the original amendment. I'm sorry, I want to follow our procedures very clearly here. I know we want to do this correctly. So we were in Q&A. Do we now have questions for the proposer of the amendment? You don't have to be here anymore. Thank you so much. You can stick around if you want. Questions to the proposer, 30-second speaking time for this new 700 transfer that we have. Any questions?
Motion to elapse Q&A.
Is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? That motion clearly passes. We now have a 1 minute response from Budget Committee. Yield. Thank you so much. We will do a roll call vote for this amendment. It requires 60% of members present for it to be approved. I also just want to, I hate to do this, can we do a quick check on quorum real quick?
Stand up if you're an elected member.
Looks really good. And there's 2 on Zoom. So we're good, right? What's the total number?
Yeah.
All right, we're good. Thank you all. Please sit down.
What's
It's 18. Hold on. So this requires 11 votes to pass.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
Naya?
And let me, before I say, we're just to be clear, you're voting if you want to approve this amendment, which is on screen, which is, it's now the 700.
Musa?
Yes. Yeah, could you just show the other document you had and just change it to the 700? Thank you. And just delete the 615, just so we're super clear. There we go. Don't want any questions. There we go. You already voted aye.
Yes.
Aiden?
Is there a question?
We can't see it on screen.
Yes, of course. Give me one moment to pull up a document for Zoom. How's everyone doing? It's great.
Thanks guys for staying with us. This is long. We love you. Yeah.
What happens when you think closes that?
So what we will most likely have to do, because it's quickly approaching, we'll recess this meeting, and then we'll pick it up again next week.
Wait, so next week.
So sorry, I apologize, not next week, at our following meeting. We'd certainly have to finish this meeting, so we'd start off with this meeting, and the third meeting is usually short. Maybe I shouldn't say that. It's usually just a final vote, but now we're all clear. I'm going to put this up for Zoom. So we're doing a $700 internal transfer. We can continue now with the roll call vote.
Yay. Okay. Naya and Musa have already voted. Aiden, Carol.
Aye.
Mo is not here. I vote pro. Tay is not here. Miriam.
Pro.
De Silva, who is also not here any longer. Chinmay, also not here. Tanvi.
Here.
Oh, do you vote pro or con on the amendment? Eddie is also not here. Okay, Cushy. Shaughnessy's not here. Ben, is Ben still there?
Ben Woods.
He said pro in the chat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Aisha? Pro. Ishika? Pierce?
She's not here.
Stanley?
Pro.
Amira?
Yes.
Do you vote pro or con on the amendment? Or
You can also abstain.
You just get me for now.
Sure.
Yeah, you can. Samuel.
Pro.
Sorry, guys. Charmaine. Pro. Solon. Sophie.
Pro.
Ryan. ZK. Kavance. Back to you, Amira. Great. Okay, it passes 19 pro, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. If we could please update the budget to reflect the amendment. We now, I believe we're done. We finished class board, which is the last branch. So we now will have, we have 2 minutes. Hold on. Give me one moment here. Okay. Treasurer of 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes for the treasurer, which there's no budget committee. Now we have Musab to present any additional budget details that are not a part of any of the aforementioned group's budgets. Also would ask that you talk about the pre-Os that we fund as well, because we haven't discussed that yet. This is the entire, but we've just done the class board amendment. Correct, because that's a amendment between branches. So Naya, if we could put the screen back to the overall budget. Yes, please. Yes. And so you have 2 minutes, and then we're gonna have 5 minutes for question and answer. And this is about any points that haven't been covered. And also please mention the prios.
Regarding the pre-orientations, we haven't defined a lot of pre-orientations. We our mode budget committee negotiated a lot of the costs. To cut down a bit on the prios regarding Gen Q, I forget which one that is. The reason they have a cut is I think because they were perhaps able to fund it more, and then the places we did decide to keep were because costs for incoming students increase. So we're just supplementing that from increasing costs. And then, you want to add anything on prios?
No, they're a great service. And Mo did great negotiating to bring some of those down.
Yeah, and then the last thing is 0% change, 5% decrease from last year. So we are in a funding crisis.
And you have 1 minute and 10 seconds if you want to talk anything else about budget. Nope, yield. We now have 5 minutes for question and answer to you. Any questions? Is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? Thank you very much. We have elapsed that. Now, at the end of discussion of all branches, SAC will be given 2 minutes with 3 minutes for Q&A to make a statement on the revised budget. Oh boy. Okay.
He's in the bathroom, I think.
Are you, Teja, sorry, are you on SAC? No, I know that, but you mentioned being. Would you be willing to give a statement? Yeah, there's no one else here, unless there's anyone else on SAC. Oh, hold on. Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, really?
Yeah.
That good for you know what? Fair play. All right, we were all waiting for you, but that's a great excuse. No, what? Oh, you're saying.
I know you love Shreve Street.
Let's really not get into politics here, but yeah, it is recorded live.
Do that to yourself. So.
Okay, all right. So, all right, you're gonna have 2 minutes. This is a statement.
We're always transparent here.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're gonna give 2 minutes on the revised budget, a statement on the revised budget. Then you will have 3 minutes for question and answer. Please, everyone, if we could keep the crosstalk down, 2 minutes. Zach.
Okay. Oh. Testing. Hello.
Press the button.
Guys, that's too much for me. I'm a C student. I'm not a C student. I'm a
Hello.
club student. And that's how.
That's it. All right.
Hi,
Everybody.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty unique in the history of Penn student government. Almost every single non-UA organization has banded together because we feel that there needs to be a significant shift in the UA budget priorities. We respect all of you, all the work that you put into this. We want to be a partner with you in this budget process, and we feel that we empathize with the need to shift dollars around, but the cuts, while on the face may seem fair, may seem, like a great decision, as we've seen from the testimony from so many members of Penn student government, it really disproportionately hurts when I know you guys love the UA shuttle, and there are some benefits to the UA shuttle, but we really need to think about the opportunity cost of funding the UA shuttle, pouring in funding for the UA shuttle, when there are a lot of opportunities for students in these other branches. SKU, that $400, that allows SKU to actually implement their proposed reforms. They're the R&D arm of Penn student government. The making Penn co-ed was a SKU proposal. SKU did that. We should not have funding from SKU because they can do big things like that other branches of student government can't do because they have a long-term plan. Penn would be so much less vibrant with what SPEC does for our community. I would genuinely feel bad about myself as a student leader to allow the next generation of Penn students not to have SPEC level opportunities. Penn Labs has made my life so much easier as a Penn student. I genuinely love Jesse and John and everything that they've done for me as a student. And I think if you cut it, it's really just tragic. And guys, I know that you're not interested in this. I know you're not interested in the welfare of the students, but you really were elected to Sarasota. And
That is your 2 minutes. Thank you, sir. All right, we now have 3 minutes of Q&A. There's no cap on this in terms of speaking time. You stay up. These are questions for you. Any questions for Zach? Yes, not before. Sorry, give me one moment. But want to be very fair here. We have Naya first. David, Khalil. Any other questions? No. Okay, Naya, please go ahead.
Do you have a what is it?
You have to hold the on button.
Like continuously?
No, but it might be dying too.
It might, I think it is.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Do you have a question about the specific amendment or the?
But let's restart this. I'm going to give all the time back. Please re-ask the question. And yes. Yeah. No, just repeat. I'm going to give everyone the time back. Just please repeat and then you answer.
I did reject it. I rejected the 4K that came from you, which I don't know if that. I apologize if that was, I wasn't clear enough in my initial statement. I care a lot for the groups in SAC. I want that extra $30,000, but I think it's kind of a slap in the face that you freed up 4K and then you could have resolved some of the issues that your constituent groups had and you immediately forwarded it to SAC. That is my concern. I think it's a smart decision to give SAC more money. I think that was a good decision that you and your team made. But I think the additional 4K could really, law diminishing returns and all, could really go a lot further in some branches that are having cuts.
Thank you. So we're going to go one at a time. If there's time, we can come back. David, question?
I'm going to forward it back to people who have questions. I'm sorry, like, unless there's a specific thing that you want me to expand on. Sure. Or I can't do it, Chair.
You got yielded the time, so you're good.
Oh, I gotta yield this one? Yeah, I'll yield the time.
Just a quick question. So in I will ask for an you that you conference. If you take off all of the airport stuff, and like that's $8,000 our budget. And like take it off from 8,000 students per year services. Really fund our social events, like our group, our events, so that our city for 100 students max. If you see that the irony here, we have like taken out funding from like the servers, whether efficient or not, we can discuss it. That serves like 100 students to give it like to 100 students who are the leaders who care supposedly about welfare students.
No, I thank you for the point, and I think this is bringing up a conversation to the UA, which we want the UA to engage in, with the UA engaged in, that there are ways to make this more efficient. And you can still offer a service that transports students to the library that saves a lot of money. And if this body really cares about staff, which you've used as a point a lot, which, you know, I like staff too, you could make the UA shuttle more efficient, give more money to staff. Right, so I don't think that this is this binary that we're in right now. I know it said $9,000 on it, but it was the start of the conversation. And if someone in the UA, the undergraduate assembly, can pitch something that is a compromise, I think we would take.
So we have 15 seconds, and I'll just say this is supposed to be question and answer. We're not really debating. There are 10 seconds left. Do you have a question?
Not say negotiating, roll out the airport shuttles. Is that not?
I don't think it's a big enough effort.
What would you suggest?
We're out of time. We can extend if people want to extend. But yeah, okay. All right. I think we're good. Thank you so much, Zach. Appreciate it. Now we will enter general discussion. This is where we talk about the budget in whole. The main purpose of this is to go over any amendments that move money between branches, which there are several. I will go through them in order of most destructive to least destructive. And what I'll say at any point during this, someone can motion to the previous question, and that will essentially end this meeting. If that goes through, if we approve the motion to the previous question, that'll end this meeting and it will move the budget on to the next meeting. So people can do that at any point. If you had enough with the meeting and you want to go home, you can do that. Of course, I will be here as long as I'm legally allowed to be here by Allied. But just a note, you can make that at any point. That requires a 2/3 majority of the membership of the UA present to pass that motion to the previous question of elected members. So we will now start general discussion. We're going to start with Khalil's amendment that moves around $29,600. If we could put that up on screen, I'm going to share my screen for Zoom as well. And what we're going to do here, we're going to have, or first, would you still like to propose that amendment?
Yes.
And do you have a second from the UA? Second. Wonderful. So you're going to have 1 minute to propose that. Sorry. So sorry, we're gonna do wait, it should only be, is it more sorry. It's one amendment, right? Yeah, so these are all grouped together. The speaker has authority to lump them together. It's one amendment that's moving $29,600. Is that correct?
Yes, the second one is.
Yeah, this is in there.
Another amendment.
Yeah, it's Khalil's one.
Yeah, the first one only, like this one.
Yeah, this one. And if you could just maybe zoom out a tiny bit so we can see that. We can do one amendment to an amendment. Are you wanting to do that right now?
Just it's a typo there. That's like a math problem.
Okay. Yeah, you are amending this.
I will send the link.
Okay. Is there an updated version? You know, I'm gonna say, because we haven't introduced this, that you can just send me an updated document if it's just a math issue. As long as people don't have any complaints about that. Just send it to both of us. Thank you.
You should have received it by now.
Did you send it to me too?
Oh, yeah. Speaker.ua.
Yeah. speaker@pennua.org. Thank you. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So if everyone could please listen up, we're going to have 1 minute for Khalil to present. Whenever you're ready.
So hi everyone, we're having a nice evening budgets. So first let's start with kind of the basics. So please kind of raise your hand if you agree that this is very unprecedented, very unusual budget season, and that will impact everyone, like present here, everyone around campus. So our PhD groups don't agree. That's another issue. So first, let me start with saying that I personally, and we all here, and all of them deeply value, appreciate, and recognize specs like role on campus. The proposal is mainly about efficiency, is mainly about like equity during this constrained like fiscal environment. Second, now funds double the clubs, or around like 300 newly added. I think this year means their funding is gonna get cut to half. Already they're having a lot of issues on their bureaucratic side of SAC. This will make our student clubs even stagnate more.
That's 1 minute. Thank you so much. All right, 3 minutes for a question and answer. These are capped at 30 seconds per question and per answer. Do we have questions? Any questions? No. Oh, sorry. Yes. Is there a second? All those elected members in favor? Any opposed? Nope. Okay, thank you very much. We will now begin debate. Speech times capped to 1 minute. We'll start with 5 minutes. Sorry? Yeah, you can participate in debate. Do we have folks that would like to speak for debate? Solon. Sorry? Oh, yes, because sorry, I didn't clarify that before, because you're being implicated here. And the other SAC, both of you can speak. Sure. Would you like to be second?
Can I be second?
Or would, well, Solon, I already got Solon. We'll have you second. Sorry? Yeah, you could, someone could. Hold on. Are we? Hold on, excuse me. Zach, please, please be respectful. Is there a motion to allow us debate? Okay, is there a second? All elected members in favor? Any opposed? Okay, we've elapsed debate. We will enter voting procedure. Sorry, no, so this is 60, sorry, guys, if we could please get the voices down. 60% of members present required for this to be approved. And we'll do a roll call vote. Yes.
I can make a motion to switch up the order of voting.
No.
I'm not. I'm not into that.
All right, we're starting voting procedure. Yes means you want to include, like, ratify this amendment into the budget. No means you're not for it. All right, Naya? Naya?
I hear you.
Yes. Correct.
Amendment. Yes. We can come back to you as well. Musa. Aiden.
Staying as well.
I vote no. Taya, not here, sorry. Mary.
Yeah, and I'll just say, for the purpose of this, an abstention is essentially a no vote, because we need 60% of members present.
Okay, exec has voted. Taya's not here. Miriam.
Abstain.
De Silva's not here. Chinmay, not here. Tanvi. Pro means you're
yes.
including the amendment in the budget. You're changing the budget to what this amendment is. No means you don't want it. Abstain, as Aiden said, is a no vote.
Essentially, not actually.
Essentially, sorry. We can come back to you as well. Would you like us to come back to you? Okay. Eddie is not here. Cushy. Ben. Did Ben vote?
Ben. Nay, that was yeah, no.
Aisha. Ashika. Is Pierce not here?
No.
De Silva. We'll come back to you. Stanley. Amira. Samyam. Charmaine. Solon.
Solon.
Sophie. Ryan. ZK. You abstain. Kavance?
No.
Okay. De Silva, I'm so sorry. Okay. The amendment does not pass. 0 pro, 14 no, 3 abstentions.
Wonderful. Thank you. Let's see here. The next one, I'm just confirming. The next one is the amendment sponsored by Cushy. If would you still like to propose this amendment? Yes. Do you still want to propose it?
Table, debate. There's both minutes. This is a large amendment.
To table this amendment? Well, we haven't even proposed this yet. There hasn't been a.
You mean motion to recess?
Motion to recess.
Sure. So I'll just explain. If we recess, this meeting basically just pauses, and then we will resume after spring break.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. People. Hold on. Yeah, you did make the motion. Is there a second to the motion? Okay. All elected members in favor of recess. We've already seconded it, and but we're in voting. All in favor, all elected members in favor of recessing this meeting? All opposed? Okay, that motion clearly fails. We will continue. You're proposing this amendment. Is there a second from the UA?
Second.
Okay, thank you very much. You now have 1 minute to explain this amendment.
I'm just gonna leave it. Y'all can hear me. Okay. So earlier last week, I was approached by members of SAC, SPEC, SKU, Penn Labs, and Class Boards regarding a budget reallocation amendment. Essentially, the reallocation would take the funds from the UA internal marketing for airport shuttles and redistribute it across the major student groups. Firstly, UA budget season can be overwhelming, frustrating, intense. Every major student organization on campus is fighting for funding to improve the quality of student life at Penn. As representatives of the undergraduate student body, we have a responsibility to ensure these groups are heard and that their perspectives are given thoughtful consideration. This is a matter of respect. Too often than not, we shut down ideas without hearing the other side out. The purpose of student government is to deliberate, to introduce new ideas, and to approach each issue with an open mind. In that spirit, I am yielding my platform today so that these student organizations may formally present their amendment and share their rationale. My sole condition in sponsoring this amendment is that the organizations involved remain open to good faith negotiations with the UA regarding the airport shuttles initiative, should adjustments to the reallocation be necessary. Finally, I want to emphasize that this discussion is not and should not become personal. We are all students at Penn, united by a shared commitment to improving our campus community. I ask that you approach each amendment with openness and respect. Through constructive dialogue, we learn and grow. And since
Thank you so much.
this
Thank
is
you.
like an
Thank you.
intro statement and
Thank
we
you.
might recess.
Thank you. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So we now thank you all. Thank you so much. We now have 3 minutes of question and answer for Cushy. 30-second for a question and answer. Motion to recess? Is there a second from you? Yes. Well, we're in a motion right now, so sorry. Second, all elected members in favor of recessing this meeting? Any opposed? Oh, fucking hell. All right, hold on. We're gonna roll call this real quick. All in favor, if you're voting pro, you want to recess this meeting. If you're voting con or nay or whatever the hell we're saying, you don't want to recess the meeting. We'll real quick roll call this.
All right, Naya. You don't want to recess. Okay, Musab. Carol.
No, nay.
I abstain. Miriam.
Abstain.
De Silva.
No.
Chinmay. Tomdi. Eddie.
It's not here.
Sorry. Cushy. Ben. Did Ben vote?
Ben, do you want to recess? He said nay. No.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Aisha. Ishika. Pierce. Pierce is not
Not
here,
here.
sorry. Stanley. Hold on. Amira. Samyang.
No.
Charmaine. Solon. Solon. No. Sophie. No. Ryan. DK. Vance.
No.
Simple majority.
Yes, on the majority.
Okay. This does not pass. 5 pros, 9 no, 5 abstain.
All right, we'll keep going. Let's wait. So, sorry. What? Yeah?
Wait, you can't.
No, we just. Well, I'm gonna say we just voted on it. We just voted on it. We're gonna keep going. Sure. All elected members, please stand up.
We don't have quorum.
Hold on. Wait,
It's not, it's 11,
please count the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and we have 20, how many total? 24 total?
Yeah, it's 27.
We're in great shape, guys. We're gonna keep going. So we have quorum. Yes. Okay. Sure. No, absolutely. I'll just say that we can bring that up instead of amending it. Could you try to pull that up, Musab? Could you send it? Is that her computer? Yeah, send it to her computer. And actually, if you could send it to me as well, so I can put it on Zoom. Sure. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we have 4 minutes in theory, but if they don't kick us out, they don't kick us out. All righty. So we are back. I believe we are now on to 3 minutes of Q&A. 3 minutes of Q&A for you, Cushy. Sure. We should keep going. Let's keep going.
Medicine coming in, let's just move on.
That's fine. Let's do it. What do you, I feel like let's get this done.
They said that we can.
People, no, let's do it. People are gonna be, yeah, we're gonna go with it. All right, we're gonna keep going for as long as we can. You've yielded your 3 minutes to Zach. Are there questions? Any questions? Okay, we can.
We're working on it.
We can just pause for a moment. So we're gonna keep going. Again, if people want to make a motion to recess, they can do that at any point. If anyone wants to make a motion to the previous question, they can do that at any point. I'm just here to run the meeting. Y'all can decide. It's just Q&A.
No.
Motion to previous question. Is there a second? Nope.
No.
There's a second. All elected members in favor. Motion to the previous question.
You have
Yes.
division of the assembly.
Okay. All right. Well, let's focus out. Let's focus out. Keep the voices down. Is there a motion you're trying to? Okay. So there's nothing on. So we're still doing questions, guys. If we could please listen. Please. We have 3 minutes for questions for Zach because he's been yield time. Are there any questions? No. Okay. Seeing that there are no questions, we will move on to budget committee, which has 1 minute to respond. Can you please? Oh, I'm sorry. We do have, is it one question? He already has.
I can't know.
There's no questions. Okay. Does anyone have a question? Motion to recess. All right, we have a motion here. We have a motion to recess. Is there a second? All right, guys, can we please? Thank you. We have a question now. Yes, sir. Huh? No, did we? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We did not. Is there here who has to say? Sure. Is there a question for him?
There's no question.
What's the question? What do you say? Okay, go ahead, Zach, please. Yes. Thank you. Guys, can we please listen to Zach?
I just want to do a quick item. Like, there's not really 2 minutes. I want to take a breath and relax when we talk about any amendments, and also I call on every member of the UI that's going to vote to pay attention to everything that's said in regards to this amendment, and actively vote without abstaining or without amendments. Just know what's going on before you make a decision, because it will impact everyone you are elected by your classes respectively to make these decisions. So just pay attention as you kind of move forward with this.
Wonderful. Anything else?
We heard the want for collaboration, the compromise, our coalition, the UA. This is, almost 50-50 in terms of pitching in. We earnestly believe that this is better for the student, believe that it's better for PSG overall. We came together, we really thought on how we could work with you all. And a lot of the suggestions that came on during my initial Q&A would be actually resolved by this amendment. So I really just hope that you guys take the time to review it and see that we're not coming here. I admit, I get crashed out at the front, but I do like everyone here. I like Usab, I like Naya, I like my big man up there, AC, Julia Axler, her campaign after Charlie XCX, the first time, very iconic. You guys are great. So please, we come here hand in hand. We want to help you guys do a better job for the students by you guys helping us do a better job, right? We just want to be symbiotic, okay? And I'm gonna give it back to.
And then just one quick final note, vote as a UA member that's representing the student body and not as a UA internal member, just think about the UA. Just not like everything that this is affecting, where you make different. You'll set whatever.
Wait, I just gotta say. I mean, honestly, I think Mo, he's been put under a lot of stress, him and I are friends, we've been talking, and I think a lot of it is unfairly been left at his door. Our complaints are not against Mo. I think Mo was a press act throughout all this, so I just want that to be on the record.
Sure. Anything else?
If this isn't done, the word crash out.
All right. Do you want to yield your time to the chair or someone else? Yeah, can you just. Thank you. That's 3 minutes. Thank you so much. We now have 1 minute for budget committee to respond.
I think it's going to be passionate argument on airport shuttles. 2 points. First, like principles should be applied consistently throughout the budget. For example, should not be applied internal funding just to one branch. If it's missing NEC, it's missing MERT, it's missing UA. It's unclear why internal funding should go specifically to certain branches. Second point is the service funding is not changing. Services have been kept consistently across the board. The only thing that this is usually happening, like obviously besides printing and obviously supplies we get it done later, is simply internal funding, which we believe that like we would play across the board. Lastly, I agree you should vote on behalf of the entire student body. Biggest point is $4,000 to SAC matters a lot, especially for the culture groups like Simon mentioned. Secondly, airport shuttles taking out 4K would like basically take out the entire program. So I think have the best interest of the 10,000 undergraduates represent, not just the people in PSG.
All right, you have that's your time. Okay. So we now will enter debate. We have debate with, we'll do 5 minutes for debate, 1 minute speaking time. Who would like to speak here in debate? I see Khalil's hand. You all are implicated. Spec, let me just. Yeah, I'm just reading it. Thank you. I'm sorry. Not trying to start any beef with you. I'm trying to read it. Spec. Okay. All right. All elected members in favor. This is a recess. This is a vote to recess. And this will pause the meeting, but we can leave. We'll continue. What we can't clarify. I'll just clarify. We don't have to leave right now, but if that changes anyone's vote, we'll just re-vote. We don't have to leave right now, but please, we'll do the vote one more time. Someone motion to recess. All those in favor of recessing it, pause the meeting. We'll bring it back after spring break. Any elected members opposed? That motion clearly passes. Thank you all. Enjoy your spring break. We'll see you later.
And we have like 6 hours of budget debates next week. Don't be surprised.